Okay. How are we doing, everyone? We are live. We are in. We are here. Pretty sure this way I need it. Give me 1 second. Do Alright. Bop. And then bop. Ugh. Rent? Yep. Now that is interesting. 'Cause it's not making any sound. 1 second. Let me try that again. Not gonna touch anything this time.
The following sponsors are responsible
Okay, I can hear it.
for this program.
Can you see it? Okay, we're good. There we go. Okay, fixed it. We're good. Alright. Here we fucking go. Who's gonna say it? Who's gonna...
Persona 4 Arena Ultimax.
Thanks, Lapras. Always good to see you. Okay. Oh, man. Hop into story mode. Alright, so last time we did kanjis, which was a lot shorter than I expected. So we rolled right into Teddy's, which had some reveals for me. It actually showed off Labras's Shadow's true form, which is interesting. Being Asterius, which the name which technically the game hasn't given us a name for, but I know it because Persona 5 Royals DLC Persona spoiled it for me. It's not like the name means much though. I still don't know what's up with it. So, anyway. Second. Needs to be. Alright. Cool. Alright, let's get it started. Naoto Shirogane. Now, I'm wondering where.
What follows are my impressions of the organization called the Shadow Operatives, as well as their leader, Mitsuru Kirijo.
Ah, I see. I see how this connects now. Oh yeah, also in Teddy's story last, we fought through all the members of. Well, it's not really C's. It wouldn't be C's anymore because That's not really the whole thing. But I guess we have a name for it now. They're Shadow Operatives. Led by Mitsuru Kirijo. My fingers fly across the keyboard. My last case was special. I need to complete my report before I forget any important details. My name is Naoto Shirogane. I'm a detective. The Shirogane family has been working as detectives for generations. Though I'm young and still in high school, I have been given the opportunity to take on several cases and have built up experiences as a detective. My work has earned me some trust, as every so often the police will come to me for my assistance. That's where the story begins. A sudden request from the Inaba Police Department. That was about a month ago, early April. Last summer, I had received a request from the prefectural police to come to the town of Inaba. A bizarre series of murders was occurring. A corpse would turn up every morning after a foggy night. In the end, it turned out to be the most difficult case of my career. It's been about 2 months since... Wait, no, sorry, not 2 months, Jesus. Excuse me. It's been about 2 weeks since that case was closed. No, from the public's viewpoint, 4 months have passed since the crimes were stopped. The culprit has been arrested and prosecuted. Peace is returned, but with it comes a depressing proposition. I'm not unwilling to help the police again, but my involvement with the previous case is not something I'd like to go through again. To be completely honest, that particular case was no simple series of murders. My audio's really quiet today? Give me 1 second then. Test. Okay, let me see if I can do something about that. Sorry about the pause in game audio. Test. Testing. 1 2 3 1 2 3. Test. I don't know if it's my, but I should probably also try talking louder. Okay. We should be good. Okay. I'll try talking a bit louder. Just, you know. Oh. Uh-oh. Hold on. Hey now. What's going on? Hold on. There it is. Okay. Sorry, my tabs are being annoying. They're being goofy. Excuse me. During the course of my investigation, I obtained a supernatural power known as my persona, making me more than just a detective. Can't read. I collabed with other persona users and became directly involved with the events of the case. Of course, if I was to tell the police this, it would be treated as nonsense. Worst case scenario, I would be discredited. Having to leave those details while explaining the events of the case is more than a little nerve-wracking. Feels like lying. But there you have it. While on my way to the police department for this new case, I go through a list of possible questions and answers I would need. Something's different today, though. After greeting the receptionist, I'm led to the usual dull meeting room. I'm not led to the usual dull meeting room. Instead, I'm taken to a reception area on the top floor. A leather trim sofa, a curved wooden table, a nouveau riche setting. I think that's right.
Looks like this may take some time.
How's my audio now, by the way? Is it better? If this was just going to be paperwork and basic questioning, they wouldn't have brought me into the special room. Is it a new case? I have to wait several minutes before someone comes to speak with me. When the door finally opens, a man wearing a suit, not fitting the usual uniform of a local officer, walks in.
I'm sorry about the wait.
Who the fuck are you? He hands me his card.
Allow me to introduce myself.
You have a portrait, so you're probably important. His card has a lengthy title. National Police Agency, Security Planning Division. I was shocked. They are more commonly known as the Public Safety Police. The Security Planning Division is the command center for departments to handle terrorist threats. Oh my god. Could they have taught plots and foreign affairs? I don't know what that second thing is. Well, I know what a coup is, but I don't know what that second word after coup is. I don't know how to say it. I'm dumb. The secret police also belong to this group. But why would a person of such importance come all the way to a rural locale like this? I look him in the eyes. He appears to be measuring me up.
I see you're enough on the ball that you don't need a lengthy introduction. Good.
Without any further talk, the man gets to his point.
Have you heard of the Kirijo group?
I doubt there are many who haven't.
I'll get right to the point. We'd like to hire you to perform a sub rosa investigation on them.
What does that mean? What is a sub rosa
You need a
investigation?
corporation quietly investigated. Why me? I don't see what I can do that your own department cannot.
I would agree if shadows and personas weren't involved.
This time I'm unable to hide my surprise. But the man continues, either failing to see or purposefully ignoring my reaction.
One summer 12 years ago, there was an explosion at the Kirijo-owned Tatsumi Port Island, killing over 50 people.
That checks.
You would have been very young at the time.
I've reviewed that case. The official explanation was that a gas main leaked during a construction project.
Not what
Afterwards,
happened.
though, a bizarre rumor saw quite a bit of circulation.
The mass media noticed that there was a suspiciously large number of researchers amongst the casualties.
Ooh, we're getting some Persona 3 lore now. That's fun.
They floated the theory that the official explanation was a lie, and that the explosion was really caused by some dubious experiment.
Which is correct.
No concrete evidence.
And it
was
almost
ever found
ended
to
the
support those
fucking
claims,
world.
though. As I recall, the matter was left unsettled. Some may still remember the incident, though I don't think many could recall the finer points.
Those rumors were all true.
His voice becomes firm.
What?
Those researchers under Koetsu Kirijo, the old Kirijo group manager, were working on harnessing the power of shadows. The experiment went awry, and they lost control of the shadows. That's what caused the explosion.
Experiments using shadows. They lost control? Are you saying the shadows flooded the city? The real world?
Yep.
I can't speak to that. There was no way of getting hard answers back then. No one took the spooky stories seriously. But that accident got the government and the police's attention, though they didn't launch an investigation until a year or two ago.
That couldn't be helped. Law can only preside over the world as we know it. Things that can't be explained can't be governed.
Only those in the Kirijo group know exactly what happened and how much of the aftermath was dealt with.
The aftermath.
That word has a bad ring to it. It brings to mind a cover-up of some dark
Their
secret.
cleanup efforts continued until quite recently. They were using some method known only to them, entirely behind our backs. We think they've been conducting illegal activities in the 10 years since then, while hiding behind their cleanup efforts.
And you wish for me to
They're talking about
confirm
Cease.
this?
They're talking about they're talking about the Persona 3, the entire fucking plot of Persona 3, where a bunch of fucking loser high school students mop up the fucking fallout of a horrible experiment gone awry. And now apparently it's crime. That's fun.
Not only do you have a
Well, this is very
relationship with
interesting.
us,
I like this
you have
already.
a persona and extensive experience in the field. We can't think of a better candidate.
I actually finished Persona 3 not too long ago, And I've been replaying it. I've been doing a New Game Plus run to mop up a couple achievements. Not live or anything, but yeah. So the Persona 3 stuff is like fresh in my mind now.
And since I'm not directly affiliated with the police, if I were to be caught in a trap, it wouldn't lead back to you.
If that's the way you want to put it.
My reply was meant to be sarcastic, but his conversation was exceptionally draining. I must applaud public safety. They know everything about anybody they choose to investigate. There's no point in trying to bargain with them. He continues explaining indifferently, as if able to sense my resignation.
Last year, in conjunction with the Kirijo Group, we established an unofficial department in the force, nicknamed the Shadow Operatives. It's a special unit capable of dealing with shadow-related cases.
This is news to my ears. That's a rather bold move. You went so far as to join forces with the ones you suspect of illicit activities?
That's exactly why we did it. We must keep a leash on them by integrating them into the system.
But the police are far behind information-wise. Officially, you are higher on the chain of command, but less so in practice.
I try throwing out a theory as I begin to get a grasp on what's taking place. The man didn't so much as flinch, but he didn't give me much of an answer
You
either.
need some leverage to keep your hold on them. Thus, this secret investigation. What exactly do you want me to do?
That will depend on your answer.
So that's their game plan. I figured as much. An organization as big as the Kirijo Group is hiding the secret about shadows. Now, should I take the job or not? As a person with persona abilities, I'm naturally interested in learning how much is known about the shadows. And this job could potentially give me leverage over the government in the future. What? Well, I'm deeper in thought. The man continues, as if he can read my mind.
If you think we're hiring you to further our organization, you're mistaken.
I can't help but look up the obvious charge in his
Our
tone.
sources say it's possible that they've been talking students from a Kirijo-owned school into doing their dirty work.
They have. They did. Well, sort of. Yeah, a little bit.
They've been pleading ignorance while making ordinary kids clean up whatever messes they've left.
That's probably how it would seem to like any observer, but like, I mean, whose fault is it that the only teenagers were like the teenagers were the only ones with personas? Thanks, Philemon.
And that we don't forgive. We're supposed to be upholding the law. We can't overlook things like this.
He's surprisingly sincere. He's staring right at me, unlike before. His eyes are strong and bold. He truly doesn't want anyone innocent to suffer. Of course, this could be an act to convince me, but even then, I do agree with that opinion. All that remains is to find out Kirijo's intentions.
All right. In that case, I accept. Though I don't plan on abandoning my school life here. I'll do what I can to help, but only within those limits.
I would never have dictated conditions like this before. The reason I had come to this town and transferred to Yasugami High School was for my investigation. But school life and the dear friends that I've gained have become irreplaceable to me. Huh. It may sound childish to demand that I stay with my friends, but they refuse to budge in that regard. That's that. However,
That's fine with us.
he accepts my condition, almost too easily. He then immediately begins to explain the details
At the
of the
end
case.
of this month, the Kirijo Group is airlifting some special cargo. Kirijo has asked our help in making sure the cargo is transported safely. We'd like you to accompany them as a police observer.
What do they mean, transported safely?
A police escort, assurance of no public investigation if any unforeseen situation were to arise. Things like that. Of course, if anything does happen, we will hold them responsible.
And what is this special cargo?
It's something to do with the shadow research. They've admitted
Ooh.
that much, but we don't know the exact details.
Ooh. Ooh. Oh, I just realized I can hide the text box. Look at that portrait. Hell yeah. Yeah, the lines have been coming up about the plane crash. Like literally at the start of every single storyline, except for I think Teddy's, because he was already in the TV when he started. Has mentioned a brutal plane crash plane crash, and then the Midnight Channel comes back on, and then they all get sucked into the P1 Grand Prix. So, I think that the special cargo is a Labrys. I think that's what's going on here. I think they're transporting a Labrys somewhere for some reason because she's an anti-shadow weapon. So that's my theory going into this. I might be wrong. I probably am wrong. I'm not that smart. So, but I guess we'll see.
According to our research, it's most likely something from the old ergonomics research laboratory, classified as risk level 4.
Don't know what that means.
In other words, even though it's sealed up tight, it's extremely dangerous.
More evidence to my theory. They even have a risk scale for things like this. Seems like Kirijo's research goes into a variety of different things.
Also,
As I'm thinking, the man slides a photograph to me. It's a beautiful young lady. Her eyes show a strong will, as if striking her, as striking as her blazing red hair. That hair reminds me of something. I may have seen a picture while going through documents regarding the Point Island incident. Of course, the girl in those pictures was much younger.
this woman will be on that flight. Her name is Mitsuru
My
Kirijo.
girl! Yeah, me too.
Kirijo.
She's the oldest daughter of the Kirijo family, Koetsu Kirijo's granddaughter. It
Yep.
was he who devised the experiments 12 years ago.
Yeah, the guy who blew up Tatsumi Port Island.
You should know that she's also a powerful persona user.
Yep. Persona user besides us. I was suspecting something like this, but to hear it out loud is still shocking. So there are Persona users other than those involved in the case last
We
year.
believe she took the lead in gathering students 3 years ago when she was still in high school. We'd like you to first go to her residence and meet with her.
All right.
Ooh, fancy.
I'm sure you figured out by now, since she's a high-ranking Kirijo group official and a persona user, but she's a shadow operative. She's member number 1, the general manager. And not because she's a Kirijo, but because she has the abilities to back it up.
Yeah.
When you do this, if she's dirty, then this won't be easy for you.
I already accepted your assignment, so I must simply make the best of it.
I offer my hand. He has the firm grip of someone who's worked with the front lines of the law. A few days later, I received a message informing me that the transport is to be on the 1st of May. It's on a school day, but since I've taken the job, there's nothing I can do about it. In fact, I should be glad this didn't overlap with the extended holiday. I haven't heard the details, but I expect to have some important arrangements during Golden Week. Arrangements to reunite with my upperclassman, Yuna Urikami, who was the leader of our group during last year's incident. I keep thinking about our reunion. It's only been 2 weeks since he left, but it feels much longer. I suppose that goes to show how much I'm looking forward to it. But I'm going off track. I need to think about my new job, so I hastily pull myself together. Ooh. Persona 3 music. The cargo is due to be transported from a laboratory near the Kirijo mansion. I make my way to the mansion and present myself, and end up becoming the security detail. The limousine is incredibly long. Apparently, this isn't all that rare for the upperclassmen in other countries to ride in cars this large, but it's downright comical on the tiny roads of Japan. That was where I met Mitsuru Wait, what? Hold on. Apparently it isn't all that rare for the upper class in other countries. Oh, I see. Okay. I see what she means. So I met Mitsuru Kirijo in person.
Nice to meet you. My name is Naoto Shirogane. I'll be acting as an observer today.
I've been told about you. It's nice meeting you as well. I'm Mitsuru Kirijo.
Her beauty is enough to attract anyone's attention. She was so much less imposing than the
I
picture.
didn't expect the police's observer to be so young.
Does that bother you?
No. I didn't mean to downplay your abilities. Forgive me.
I take a look at Kirito-san's face. She's the only daughter of the founding family, but it's been 2 years since she's renounced the practice of the Kirito group being run by the family. In other words, she's simply the CEO's daughter now, not the heir to the company. She must be used to constant stress being a female leader at such a young age. Getting people to acknowledge her must have been a struggle. I don't need to mince words dealing with types like her. I decided to cut the
Tell me,
chase.
what are the contents of your cargo?
I'm ashamed to have to admit this, but since the original researchers have passed away, we don't know what's in it either. We can't allow the worst-case scenario for such an item to come to pass in the middle of a city. That's why we plan to transfer these items to a distant facility according to their indicated risk level.
A natural decision. Her posture, her actions. If that was all an act, I must commend her for her ability to deal with the unexpected. But personally, my impression is that she's a trustworthy person. Before leaving, I had a chance to see the Kirijo mansion. I have to say, it's surprisingly simple. It felt as though it was prioritizing function and efficiency over meaningless luxury, perhaps a reflection of her own personality. At any rate, her intelligence and presence are proof enough of her upbringing. If she was hiding something, it would be hard to figure out.
Then I'll stay near the cargo along with the police escort. I'll contact you immediately if anything happens.
All right. If anything is unclear to you, feel free to ask me.
Her eyes look straight at me, and I feel as if she could see through anything. I end our conversation shortly, and quietly wait for us to arrive. Yeah, I'll place a bookmark. Ooh, this is interesting so far. Ah, I like it. I like it a lot. This is fun. The limousine transport stuck in multiple security cars reached the airport without any simple incident. The cargo may be dangerous, but according to the records, it was kept safely in a storage for the past 10 years. Plus, it's worthless to lie to the average person. Because of this, people involved in security don't look tense. Hirita-san hands her servant her travel bag, as if it's almost as if she simply is going on vacation.
Yakushima. Huh.
Hey, we're going back to Yakushima. The plane's destination is one of the Southern Isles. I'm sure it'd be fun to go with everyone. I realize what I'm thinking, and I have to laugh to myself. A year ago, I never would have considered that it would be fun to spend time with others, but I can't help but think that way now. Soon, they'll begin moving the cargo out of the truck. I clear my mind of daydreams and look back to the truck. They pass through the gate for large cargo shipments. Shipment is imposing. The shipment is in imposing metal cases, but among all the other shipping containers, it doesn't attract much attention from the airport staff. Yup, I fucking called it. It was Labras. It's Labras. Labras is in that box. It's not long before the final case is unloaded from the truck. It's obviously different from the rest. It's covered with what seems to be heavy industrial-grade steel. About 1 meter wide and broad and 2.5 meters tall. Hold on, I'm measuring that in my head. That's pretty fucking big. Seems like something very, very special is in there. But even if someone was targeting the shipment, it would be impossible to steal that. 4 men in suits slowly tip the case sideways to place it in the cart. Seeing it on its side reminds me of something. It looks like a coffin. The moment I realize that, a shiver runs down my spine. Doesn't look big enough for a person to lie down in. Could there really be someone inside? Could it be that this tight security is not to prevent theft, but to keep the cargo from escaping? No. How can I imagine things like this without any proof? In my head, I shake my head to clear these pointless thoughts. Am I just shaking because I heard this has something to do with shadows? Eventually, the check-in process is complete, and the announcement to begin boarding echoes through the airport. I relax a little, relieved that nothing has happened up to this point. Once the plane takes off, the only thing in our way is the sky. I had to put on an earpiece tuned into police radio to keep up with the current situation. So far, nothing was out of the ordinary. Kirijo-san's group finished checking in and had boarded the plane. The cargo should be loaded soon. After I supervise that, I'll check in and... Suddenly, an urgent voice jumps on the broadcast.
Squawk code has changed to 7500.
What the fuck does that mean?
7500.
I have trouble mentally shifting gears after the period of inactivity. I never imagined I would hear that number with my own ears. What the fuck does that mean?
7500? A hijacking?
Ah, thank you. Thank you for telling me, Naoto. Is the plan I'm investigating being hijacked? This can't be a coincidence. Could this have been set up by the police or the Kirijo group? No, there's no benefit for either of them to get involved with the general public. So if that's the case...
Is it the cargo they want?
There really is someone after the cargo. Wait, if they're after the cargo, why hijack the plane? If they're not trying to steal the cargo, could they be after your Kirijo-san? No, that doesn't feel right. Hijacking isn't an effective method to carry out a kidnapping or an assassination. If they have time to, if the time and resolve to pull this off, they would be far better trying to take over the plane mid-flight. I can't figure out their objective. Why would they do something that attracts so much public attention? Attention? It's a very peculiar time to take over the plane. Very peculiar indeed. Hijacking before departure forfeits the biggest benefits of hijacking. But at the same time, all normal airport operations will come to a halt while everyone turns their focus on the plane in question. The airport will naturally stop loading baggage on the plane while this hijacking goes on. It's a perfect distraction. So they are after the cargo.
If that was the case, the hijacking is only a decoy. But would they really risk their lives hijacking a plane over one piece of cargo?
Maybe. As I scan the area from my viewpoint of, up in the boarding area. I see a van that had been parked near the cargo suddenly peel out.
Huh?
A suspicious departure at this time. I have a bad feeling about this. But the cargo was just unloaded right in front of my eyes. I didn't see anyone steal it. Hold on. 4 men in suits with a handcart. I don't see them. I've lost track of them in the rush of activity over the hijack call. I grind my teeth and route the radio call.
This is 002, over. A suspicious vehicle is leaving the scene. Stay in pursuit. It's a large vehicle, about 2 tons. License plate.
Ooh. Ugh. I like this. I hear someone confirm with Roger, but there's shouting and confusing over going on in the background. I'm unsure if my intentions have been understood. I run across the airport by myself, and to grab hold of these people's tail, even if only to get a few hairs. Of course, there's no way that I can catch a vehicle on foot, but I have a plan. I run down the escalator and bolt for the passenger pickup area, the arrivals lobby. I look around outside and there it is, just as I thought. The suspicious vehicle is coming this way. The airport's road layout is a loop. After leaving the departure lobby, cars must take a turn and curve around back to the arrival lobby before being able to reach the surface streets. I hide in the crowd and wait for the van to get close. As it passes by, a small sticky lump. What? There's a small sticky lump. Luckily for me, it strikes and sticks low on the van side. It's a compact transmitter in there. You have to be pretty close to pick up a signal, but it's better than nothing. I take my hat off and wipe my forehead. The pedestrians around me begin to stir. Everyone stops and stares at their smartphones. I didn't need to look. I knew. The first news of the hijacking is hitting the media. I put my hat back on and pull the brim low. I have to be more careful not to let all informants flying about or confuse me. Keep my guard up and quickly walk back to the departure lobby. Another 45 minutes pass without any more clear information coming through. There's chaos on the radio, and people are in a panic. But after the hour, the confusion suddenly stops, and a shocking report comes in.
Personnel on scene. The suspects have been apprehended. The hijacking is over. I repeat.
They dealt with it so soon?
Though some passengers were ill, wait, hold on, what? Though some passengers were ill, there were no casualties. As far as I know, the hijackers didn't even make any demands. It's hard to think that the police could have negotiated with them. But on the other hand, there's no indication that the special assault team had stormed the plane. The group surrender? Now that their decoy objective was complete?
What's going on here?
Just then, our radio call came in directly for me.
Operator 002, over. The hijacking has been dealt with, but the transfer must be cancelled. The whereabouts of one piece of cargo cannot be confirmed. All indications are that it has been stolen.
Then that vehicle earlier. Are you still in pursuit?
We're tracking it through the end system. Head to the guest room immediately so we can discuss our response.
Looks like my call to report a suspicious van had not been a mistake.
Understood.
Ooh. Soon after, the involved parties were gathered in the conference room. Kirijo-san and the police are talking hurriedly. A good number of this quickly put together team are not aware of the confidential nature of this matter. I imagine things won't be proceeding so smoothly. At any rate, the van on the run can be tracked through the end system. The The hijackers were handed over to the airport police, while those of us who knew the truth about the cargo were moved to one of her buildings.
That was a very tidy operation. I had thought it would take at least half a day.
To put it delicately, we had someone with special abilities handling this. Then again, though we prevented any harm from coming to the hostages, we lost the cargo.
Nothing for it, I suppose. Who would have expected an entire hijacking to cover up the theft of some cargo? I must apologize to you as well. I was the closest at hand when it happened.
No, you did more than enough. It's thanks to your sharp eyes that we're able to track the suspicious vehicle now. I'm impressed that you realized in all the chaos that the cargo was the true target. You even spotted their getaway truck.
Thank you. Our next step should be to interrogate the suspects in custody and...
Sadly, it won't be that simple. I haven't heard much yet, but it seems they're having unexpected difficulties with the interrogation. It will take some time.
Weird.
If they were prepared to risk their lives for this operation, I suppose they won't break so easily.
We made an error in judgment. We were too focused on preventing the item itself from doing any damage.
But since they targeted something so unusual, that should narrow down the suspect pool.
I can't deny it's possible that someone connected to the Kirijo group is behind this. Thank you for your assistance, Shirogane. I'm sorry to have involved you in this mess, but the professionals will take it from here.
Professionals. In other words, she plans to investigate this herself as a shadow
Does
operative.
that mean my work here is done?
I'm afraid so. We do value your cooperation.
This is a bit of a pickle. The Kirijo group and the police want to keep this under wraps. That is, they cannot open a public investigation. On top of that, the shadow operatives are, technically, an organization working for the police, so there's no room for freelancers here. Which means there's no need for me to be involved in the oh my fucking god, I can't read. Which means there's no need for me to be involved in the investigation any further. Insisting to stay on this case would only draw attention. Which, with no other choice, I decide to take my leave. It must have been chaos at the office. Despite the unusual events, the man who hired me has not yet gotten in touch. I entertained the thought of returning home to Inaba, but luckily enough, I've brought enough luggage for a short trip out of town. I decided to stay a night at a business hotel near the airport and wait for my client to contact me. Time passes. At 9 o'clock, I finally receive a phone call from the man. Stop ringing, I hate it.
Taken an unexpected turn. This case is under the jurisdiction of the shadow operatives now.
That will make it very difficult to continue my secret investigation.
But right now, you're the only one we have who's gotten that close. We heard you earned Kirijo's trust after the hijacking. We'd like you to keep up your investigation. We're currently making arrangements for you to pick it up again in a natural way.
What are you gonna have me do? I will not act as a spy.
I'll be in touch later.
He hangs up without waiting for me to reply. I sigh. Yes, you just did. Thank you for telling us. I feel a weight in my heart. This has the possibility of turning into a private investigation from the shadows. Pretty much a polite way of saying corporate espionage. If I'm to take on this job, I need to have some sort of plan. At any rate, I cannot plan my movements without knowing how the situation is progressing. It would be far better to prepare for tomorrow instead of getting worked up with worry. I read the newspaper and watch for some TV coverage of today's events, then go to bed early. A day passes, and even by the night of May 2nd, the man has not contacted me again. It seems the police are having trouble zeroing in on the suspicious vehicle. Considering the skill with which the crime was pulled off, I wouldn't be surprised if the van had been dumped somewhere and the cargo boarded onto another vehicle. Going through all the possibilities, this is just a way to kill time. What? I think I read that wrong. Whatever. But it's the only thing I had to do. Nothing happened until the sky began to darken as the sun went down. My phone finally rang. But surprisingly, the name on the screen brought a smile to my face.
Yes, Shirogane speaking.
Hi, Naoto-kun. Oh, I'm not interrupting your work, am I?
No, it's quite all right.
Sorry to call so late. I wanted to at least give it one more shot about tomorrow.
That's right. So much has been happening that I completely forgot all the that the school holiday starts tomorrow. And of course, we're supposed to have our reunion with the new senpai when he visits the city tomorrow. when he visits from the city tomorrow. Sorry. I was supposed to be able to meet with them. I didn't imagine I'd be stuck here for 3 days thanks to the attempted hijacking at the airport. But since I've undertaken the job, I have obligations that I can't just abandon. I'm starting to actually feel anger towards whoever the culprits
I'm
are.
sorry, but it seems I still won't be able to make it. I'm actually not in Inaba at the moment, to be honest.
Inaba.
Oh, yeah, you mentioned that. Oh, then I guess you can't check even if it rains.
Even if it rains?
Oh, nothing. Just talking to myself.
She did not say that in her storyline. What was
It's
that?
okay, Naoto-kun. I know there are people who'll be in trouble without you. You need to stay there and help them out.
Yes, well,
Help them out, huh? It irritates me to know that what I'm going to do is pretty much spy
it
work.
really is a shame. Give my regards to Senpai and the others, won't you?
Will do. Good luck with the job.
Ba-da-ba-ba. I hang up the phone. Seeing my dear senpai again, I feel that it's much more important than a job with an uncertain outcome, and I feel a little sad that I'm going to miss it. Maybe I should just turn the case down and make a surprise visit
I
tomorrow.
wonder if any train would make it in time.
But it looks like the case is not about to let me leave. After my talk with Chie-san, I began to prepare for bed. That's when the public safety official called me again.
It seems we may be back on for the secret investigation. Mitsuru Kirijo just requested our cooperation. We agreed. A detective by the name of Kurosawa will be heading out tomorrow.
Yo?
We want you to accompany him to the rendezvous point.
My boy, Officer Kurosawa? I didn't expect him to be in this game. That's cool. When I asked about this Kurosawa fellow, I received an unanticipated answer. Apparently, he had helped Kirijo-san's activities on his own while he was a constable. Even though his superiors didn't understand what Kirijo-san was up to, he followed his own instincts and helped her protect the town. Normally, he would be punished for this, but the situation took a 180-degree turn thanks to the establishment of the Shadow Operatives. His knowledge had been invaluable, and rather than being disciplined, he had been promoted to plainclothes
Kurosawa
detectives.
is willing to leak you whatever info he learns about the Kirijo group through his cooperation with them.
I'm surprised he agreed to that. Hasn't he assisted Kirijo-san and her group in the past?
I'm afraid that's something you'll have to ask him about, although he seems to have his own agenda.
I confirmed several other details before ending the call. Detective Kurosawa. If he's working with the Kirijo group, it could be something of a problem. But if they have information to leak, that means they must have located the vehicle in question. Still, considering how long it took them to find it, I may be in for a long trip. Where am I going to be sent now? I shrugged to myself. The next day, May 3rd, I meet with Detective Kurosawa. I expected someone who looked shadier, but the man appeared hardworking and honest.
Kurosawa.
I'm
No,
Naoto
portrait.
Shirogane. Thank you
Oh.
for your assistance.
I've heard rumors about you, Ace Detective. Let's get going.
My boy. We make our greeting. We make our greeting in brief, and I get it into Detective Kurosawa's car. There he is! My man! A private investigation in a location that I have no prior knowledge or experience of. This was a depressing job in the first place, and the addition of more and more unknown variables is only making me more displeased with
You
it.
seem pretty listless.
Oh no, I'm fine. Where are we headed, by the way?
The place where they found the getaway car from the hijacking. A town called Inaba. It's a small place with an odd history. They just had
Hey.
a bizarre serial murder case there last year.
Isn't that interesting? I can't stop the surprise from showing in my
That's
voice.
your hometown, right? Isn't that why they're sending you?
I'm at a loss for words, but Detective Kurosawa continues instead of waiting for me to
The
reply.
request I got from the Shadow Operatives was to assist in gathering information about those murders. They want me to meet with a supervising detective of that case and ask him for the full story.
Is it Dojima?
Not only are they part of public safety, they're an unofficial unit. They can't come to the district police for information.
Why him? Is his case related to the robbery in some way?
Public safety is sharper than you might think. They do basic reviews on all cases to see if shadows were involved. Inaba is on their watch list now. And with that cargo being brought there, they naturally suspect a connection between
Ooh.
the cases.
Hmm.
There is a connection then. If there is a connection, then it might be related to our case. I begin to have ominous thoughts, and my expression darkens. But Detective Kurosawa doesn't probe into that topic. Perhaps he's the type of person who doesn't judge people based on evidence, but gets a feel for them through their conversations and actions. How am I reflected in his eyes? I can't help but wonder. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, TV junkyard. Oh, that's interesting. Detective Kurosawa goes inside the Inaba police station while I wait in the car near the junkyard. The familiar sights of Inaba seem strange somehow. The detective in charge of this case must be none other than Dojima-san. Detective Ryotaro Dojima. Of course, I'm familiar with him. And not just through our profession. Dojima-san acted as Yusenpai's guardian while he stayed in Inaba. I feel like I'm betraying him as well. I can't stop myself from sighing again. Soon enough, Detective Kurosawa steps out of the station. I thought he was coming back. Halfway to the car, he turns and walks into the junkyard. I wonder what he was doing. I stuck my head out the window and tried to track him. There's another car parked behind a pile of junk. A distinctive grill style. That's Kirita-san's limousine. I hurriedly pull my head back into the car. That's right. Detective Kurosawa came here to cooperate with Kirita-san. But still, to bring me along and park his car so close to her is... Then again, it's very unnatural to park a car far from a rendezvous point. Detective Kurosawa made the right decision. I calm down and slide into the rear seat, keeping my head low. Still, Kirita-san uses that black limousine while undertaking shadow operative duties as well. That car is set like a store or thumb here in Inaba. Heck, it's distinctive anywhere in Japan. Why would someone as clever as Kirijo-san take that car on a special mission like this? Does she have some profound reasoning behind it? After a while, Detective Kurosawa finally comes back to the car.
Kurosawa-san, may I ask you something? Why are you working with public safety?
You're asking that now? I thought that would be your very first question.
Finally getting a portrait of him. After wiping a dry smile from his face, Detective Kurosawa turns to me with an incredibly serious expression.
You can spy on Mitsuru Kirijo and her shadow operatives to your heart's content and never find anything suspicious. But for that to be understood, at some point or another, everything she does has to be investigated to eliminate those doubts. In which case, it's better someone like you do the investigating than someone official who will never understand. That's all there is to it.
She does. So he does have his reasons after all.
Thank you for your cooperation.
I'll leave the rest in your hands.
I exit the vehicle. Kurosawa-san takes his car into the highway and speeds out of sight. He has no doubts whatsoever regarding Kirijo-san's activities. To be honest, I'm inclined to agree with him, but I can't jump to conclusions without any evidence. I use heaps of junk as cover to sneak in close to the limousine and watch. Not long after, I see two people exit the vehicle. One of them is Kirijo-san. However, unlike when I saw her at the airport, she's wearing equipment likely suited for combat. The other person looks strange.
Is that the fabled humanoid weapon?
How did she know about that? There was information about a humanoid weapon mixed in with all the data I had about the Kirijo group when I first saw it. I was confused. But that had to be what was standing in front of me. Yeah, that's I guess. It seems unnatural. It seems natural, almost lifelike, but there's no denying that it's an artificial construct. It seems that the rumors of an unorthodox anti-shadow unit were true. Another man comes to join them soon. Is it Akihiko? My boy! He too was dressed in outlandish attire. He was shirtless and wore a red cloak like a desert nomad. The perfect example of someone who ought to be detained for questioning. I compare his face to the list of pictures of people who were involved in the situation. While his taste in clothing has changed, I believe this man is Akihiko Sanada. I can't imagine what would possess him to go out dressed like that, but I speculate about their actions. What business do they have here in a junkyard? There's nothing but a broken pile of household electronics and abandoned televisions. Then it hits me. Detective Kurosawa had told Kirijo-san about last year's incident. Of course, she has prior knowledge of personas and shadows. Then no doubt she's heard of the idea of entering the TV world. After all, it appears many times in the testimony of the killer from last year. Dojima-san may have disregarded it for being too far-fetched, but Detective Kurosawa must have caught on. Take a closer look. was a mountain of old television sets, victims of last year's switch to digital broadcasts.
They're not planning to enter a TV from here, are they?
Even as I say that, the mechanical girl already has her hand sticking into a TV screen. It's exactly as I thought. The mere fact that they are testing what they had heard so recently cannot bode well. Uncertainty crossed my mind. The three of them are clearly preparing to enter the television. Should I blow my cover and warn them of what they're doing? If they enter, then they may not be able to leave. But the other world should no longer be dangerous anymore. And I heard Yosuke Senpai that he asked Teddy to leave that exit TV out, just in case. If they're Persona users, they should be able to handle the shadows. They shouldn't be in any peril, but Kirito-san made a decision faster than I could. And they go. Ooh, new cutscene. Ooh.
The other members will wait here in the car.
Yeah. If we all barge in and something happens, we'll be devastated.
Now that you mention it, at least one of us should be staying behind as well.
I am not staying.
Us three will be plenty. We'll end this in a flash. No problem.
The same as always. Although, I have no
Excuse me.
idea what might be waiting for us on the other side.
Sorry to interrupt
Don't
the cutscene,
pretend.
Jesus.
Right.
This situation, it brings back memories.
Oh boy.
Ready!
Then you go. Ooh. That was normal that time. And do the weird like chroma a color switch thing. Ooh.
Why enter the TV? What's going on?
Ooh. I'm excited. This is so different. I stare there blankly.
Is the stolen cargo inside the TV?
Should I chase after them? If I turn back here, we may never be able to find the three of them again. And if that happens, the truth about the case will be lost forever. If her property was placed into the TV world, it means whoever stole it knows the truth about last year's incidents. If that's the case, then I can't ignore this, no matter what my assigned task is. Plus,
Well, if they're determined to enter the TV despite not knowing the risks, I can hardly allow cowardice to prevent me from following.
I realize that the straw breaking the camel's back is not logic, but my pride. I smiled to myself, but my mind was made up. I stand, look around, and step inside the television that they used. Oh boy. Oh man. Oh man! In we go. It's been a while since I felt this falling sensation. But this time, the sensation seems to continue longer than it did when I would enter a TV as part of the investigation team. Da da. Ah. We're back. We're so back. Before I know it, the falling has ended. I take cover behind a pillar and look around for the three shadow operatives. Did I lose them? We all entered from the same television show. We should have arrived in the same place. I relax a little and take a look around. When I stand up, I notice it. But it's difficult to believe. Take a good hard look. This is a school. Not only that, but
Yasogami High School? What's going on?
This is the gate to the school I attend. The familiar school building inside. But there's something unfamiliar out front. There's a stack of strange monitors. They're all being displayed in the words P1 Grand Prix. This place looks like the real world, but there's something warped about it. Feels like the world is dangerous again, like it was while we were investigating the incident. But this world has returned to the way it was before. While I'm thinking of this, students come walking out of the building. They gather together, and soon the area is filled with people.
Impossible. How could there be this many people in the TV world?
Suddenly, students surround me and start cheering. I see an all too familiar burst of static display across the monitors. Oh, it's time for the Midnight Channel. They are.
Friends, yet powerful foes. The desperate fighting program amongst high school students. A
New legend is about to start.
May the manliest of all men come on down!
Nobody touches his precious Naoto, the sister complex
Kingpin of Steel.
You Narukami!
It's only natural.
Wage slave in the boonies by day, hero by night. Captain
Representement.
Yosuke Hanamura!
The force me has gotta go.
A spunky dragon with deadly legs. The carnivore who's discarded womanhood, Chie Satonaka!
You need to eat more meat.
Please escort me to the ring, my prince. The unconquerable Snow Black, Yukiko Amagi!
I'll finish you in
one strike.
Blooming roses and bulging muscles, the blood-curdling beefcake emperor, Kanji Tatsumi!
Deep in the realms of romance.
The body of a child, the brain of a genius, the 2000 IQ killjoy detective, Naoto
Shiragane, it's me.
Is
This
this
is an army of idiots.
Fight and
Survive.
towards the one throne waiting at the end. The P1 Grand Prix where fierce fights will be fought. The
Battle begins tonight. Hell yeah, dude. I fucking love this game, guys. Already.
What?
What? Killjoy Detective. The shock leaves me dumbfounded for a while. Plus, Yusenpai Sister Complex Kingpin. Well, it's true that... No, calm down now, though. Calm down and analyze the situation. This is this otherworldly program where people's what? Foibles? Foibles? Is that a word? What? Are exaggerated to unworldly proportions. The aesthetic before the video made it very clear. The broadcast could only be the Midnight Channel. And what's this fighting tournament about? The members of the investigation team are
It
combatants?
seemed that Teddy was acting as the host for this.
I wonder what his title would have been if he was a combatant. We all know that Senpai is coming back to Inaba during Golden Week. Could this be some kind of way to welcome him back? No, no, no. Calling him a sister complex kingpin, that's not a welcome, that's a challenge. Who would publicize a negative nickname like that? Besides, whatever the reason, I can't imagine that someone would seriously want us all to fight each other. What's going on? Does that mean the rest of them are in the TV world as well? Ah, I hate that. Without warning, the sound of the microphone on feedback pierces my ears.
Hello, boys and girls of Yasogami. Sorry for the wait.
I wonder what Risei's subtitle would have been.
That voice. That's Risei-san.
The students go wild. On the monitors, Teddy appears to be wearing some sort of costume.
I'm proud to announce the commencement of our very own P1 Grand Prix!
Yay! Woo! Looks like Risei-san and Teddy are the ones running this. But they really plan on holding this P1 Grand Prix.
And now the moment you've all been waiting for, the challenger in our first battle.
If that promotional video is correct, then are the members of the investigation team going to show up? Just as I lean forward to see what's going on, a spotlight shines directly into my face, blinding me.
Naoto Shirogane!
What?
The students raise their fists to the air and shout. This is a pickle. It seems that I won't be able to chase Kirijo-san down at this rate. First, the plane hijacking, and now another unforeseen interruption.
Come on down now, Chan!
Teddy, what is the meaning of this?
Didn't you watch the intro video? It's a fighting tournament.
I gathered as much, but I was asking why you would do such a thing. Pitting friend against friend in battle is going too far for a joke.
It's not a joke, though. I'm giving this 100%, just like I always do. Now get out there now, Chan. Show me everything you've got.
You're not making any sense. Besides, there's...
I wonder who her first opponent's gonna be. Oh, what the fuck? While I'm speaking, I see the area in front of me twist. I close my eyes at once. When I open them, I see that only certain things around me have been warped by whatever that was. This is new. What the fuck is going on? This is so new. What the hell? The scene on the monitor, the students around me. I blink and rub my eyes, but I soon realize that my eyes aren't playing tricks on me.
Are these students an illusion someone is creating?
What? With their skins missing, the students have become dark shapes that only resemble human form. Are these shadows of some sort? Oh, it's back. Well, I do find it hard to believe that so many people could have wandered the TV world. Oh, now it's very loud. Even if, oh, hold on, guys. One second. I got a bot. Okay, we should be good now. Come on. Oh, fuck off. There we go. Back. We're back. Okay. Sorry about that. Well, I actually find it hard to okay. Even if this many people did get in here, the town would be in uproar. The town would be in an uproar over the mass disappearance of so many students. It makes more sense for them to be shadows. But if that's the case, why did I see them as students? Could it be? Teddy and Rise both do have the power to interfere with people's thoughts to a certain extent. It may be possible for them to be projecting illusions into my mind, but that would prove that the two of them really are the hosts of this show. I decide not to jump to any conclusions for now. Even if the two of them are behind this, why would they hold a tournament and deceive me with illusions? I won't be able to figure out anything until I determine what their objective is. As in considering my next course of action, Teddy, or should I say General Teddy, speaks directly to me.
What are you all fidgety for now, John? Do you need to powder your nose?
What?
No! Anyway, if this is not a joke, can I assume you won't easily let me go?
Bingo! You have to win the fight if you want to move on. Only the one who makes it to the very end is set free.
Here we go. This is getting me nowhere. Talking to him isn't helping me figure out what's going on here.
And let's get this started. Bring out the first opponent.
I wonder who it's gonna be. I bet it's gonna be the Seas members again, or the Shadow Operatives. Another spotlight appears across from me. Person steps out in the darkness. It's
been a while, Naoto.
Oh no, it's not. He's just instantly here. Okay, hi. Hi, you.
Senpai? Why are you here?
I promised I'd come back during Golden Week. Don't tell me you forgot.
No. Of course I remembered. It's just, I didn't expect to see you here.
I could say the same thing. I heard you couldn't make it because of your job.
Yes. Actually, I'm here on matters related to my work. It came as a surprise to me as well.
Huh. Looks like you're as uninterested in socializing as always.
There it is. Huh? What did you just say?
Everyone says that though they think of you as a friend, they never get the same vibe from you.
That's not true. I just happen to be busy with a case. But really, now's not...
Work. I guess work's all you care about in the end. Even now. I'd say you're more concerned with your work than us. I get it. Hanging out with people outside work is a burden for you. It's like an invasion of your privacy.
Senpai?
He's not the type of person who's to speak so poorly of others, is he? Is this an illusion too?
Relax. I'll help get you knocked out of the tournament so you can get back to the work you love so much.
Oh, there's Izanagi. Oh man. He summons his persona.
What? Are you serious?
Senpai attacked me. Oh my god. Senpai attacked me with his persona. That wasn't an illusion, that was real. If he'd hit me, it would have seriously hurt. Now I know something. He's clearly not in his right mind now. The leader of the investigation team I knew would never, under any circumstance, harm his friends.
What a reunion this is turning into. If I must fight you, I will.
Here we fucking go. Oh, I wonder how Naoto plays. This will be interesting. Hatsukuna Hikuna. I hope you're as good in this game as you were in Golden.
Over here.
Okay, there. Go. Okay.
Gun. Oh, he's muted. I got him. This will get him. Bang, 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 bang. There we go. Easy peasy. Let me in. Well, not quite easy peasy. I almost got my shit rocked, but you know. I'll take a victory when it's handed to me. My shoulders heave as I gasp for breath. I managed to win, but Senpai was strong as ever.
Naoto, are you okay?
Yes.
Senpai stands up and offers me his hand as I sit head on the ground. Despite the fact that he was hurt worse than I was, the look in his eyes shows that he was seriously worried about me. He's a completely different person than the person I saw before the battle. Yes, this is the person I know.
Thank goodness.
Huh?
I mean, are you all right too, Senpai? I'm sorry for hurting you, even though the circumstances demanded it.
Oh, everything's fine here. You're back to the usual Naoto, I see.
The usual?
What's that supposed to mean? I wonder about the use of his word usual, but there are more urgent matters at hand.
Can you tell me what's going on here?
Senpai tells me about what happened at Inaba while I was gone. I'm at a loss for words. The Midnight Channel started to air again. The video that I saw was a promotional video for something called the P1 Grand Prix. Apparently, it had been shown a few times before I just saw it. Wait, that video? It was shown all over town? No! Now's not the time to let that sort of thing discourage me. According to you, Senpai, not only did it turn the Midnight Channel into a comeback, but several of us, Kanji-kun, Teddy, and Rise-san, have gone missing. Senpai and the others discovered entered the TV at Junez to investigate this.
I was shocked to see it looking completely different than before.
Indeed. But it seems, at least in part, to be an illusion.
Really?
In fact, the students gathered to watch our battle were not real.
So my question is it just because Naoto's that good that she noticed that it was all like illusion? Because she so far has been the only one to have that weird like warping at the start. Or is there something particular about maybe the TV she entered in, maybe the way, maybe like, I don't know, it's weird. Maybe she's just that insanely good at being a detective, or just like, maybe she just rolled a natural 20 on her perception. But hey, whatever. In fact, the students gathered to watch our battles were not real.
Yeah, they did seem like shadows, but different somehow. I didn't get the sense that they were hostile, though.
I thought that Rise-san and Teddy might have been illusions too, but both have gone missing. And given their persona abilities...
I cut myself off. Senpai shakes his head in response.
It's possible that really was them. But we should have faith. If our enemy can use illusions, they might be victims as well.
You're right. I can at least have more faith in my friends than that.
I raise my head to look at Senpai, who's watching me. Our eyes meet, and then I hurriedly look away.
Speaking of which, why are you here, Naoto?
That's...
There's the question. Well, it's only natural. But I'm here in business, not anything personal. I can't disclose the details of my investigation. Not only are there rules, but if I spoke up, I would end up getting him involved. I have to avoid that at all costs, as I'm deciding what to say.
Forget I asked. I'm just happy to see you again.
Me too. Oh, I'm sorry.
What's the matter now?
I mean, well, about me being unsociable. Please understand that it's not because my work is more important than my friends.
Huh? I've never thought that about you at all. I don't think any of us have.
Senpai.
Alrighty, time to break up your little chat.
Teddy?
Now Chan wins! Very impressive, beating up the almighty sensei.
Interesting that General Teddy still calls you Sensei. That's kind of funny.
Now it's time for you to go on.
I guess he's
Your
trying
next
real hard
opponent's
to sell the Teddy act. When his speech is over, the monitor shuts off. Next opponent, huh? I'd rather not continue this charade, but I have to push forward in order to get a hold on the situation.
Well, we should get going.
Senpai nods reassuringly. I feel a sense of relief welling within me. I can't let my guard down, but knowing that Sensei is with me to help me face whatever lies ahead, I know I have nothing to fear. Or so I thought. Senpai is walking with me when he suddenly stops.
What the? An invisible wall? What is this? And how come you can pass through?
A wall? There's nothing there. I wave my hand through the place where Senpai can pass through. I don't feel anything. But Senpai doesn't look like he's faking it. The monitor turns on again. Teddy's face fills the screen.
Did I forget to tell you? Only the winner can move on to the next fight.
Ooh.
No one's getting out of this school until a champion's been crowned. Only the one who fights to the very end and comes out on top can leave.
So neither opponent can leave the area unless they fight each other. You go on ahead, Naoto. I'll try and find a way to catch up.
Very well. Be careful, Senpai.
I will. See you later.
I'm hesitant to leave Senpai behind, but it can't be helped. I'd like to try and destroy the wall, but there's nothing I can do if I can't touch it. With Senpai smiling at me, I decide to go on ahead. Looks like no matter how many people I fight, I'll have to progress by myself, sorry. Can't fucking read. Ooh, blue sky again. After some time walking, I run smack into something even though there's nothing there. I didn't understand what's going on at first, but I soon come to realize something. So this is one of those invisible walls Senpai was talking about. It seems that some of them won't allow anyone to pass, no matter who wins the fight. It's completely transparent. The only way to know it's there is to feel its glass-like smoothness. I have no choice but to take a detour. But time after time, these walls keep getting in my way. I'm not choosing my path, I'm being herded. I suppose I'm following some plan laid out by whoever set this up. Ooh, chair gym. As I opened the door of the gym, I saw space cleared away. Hey, for that. It's cleared away. For that. As I expected, General Teddy appears on the monitor.
You're so slow now, Chan. Your second opponent's been waiting for you.
I've said it before, but I don't intend to fight my friends.
Alrighty, let's do this. Bring out the next opponent.
Teddy does not care.
Yo, how's it hanging now, doll?
Oh no, Kanji!
Kanji-kun?
I haven't heard any of his cursed stuff yet, so this'll be. Well, he certainly looks like Kanji-kun, but it only looks that way.
Digging. The way you talk is so lame.
Huh?
I thought I was ready to face anyone, but this isn't a matter of being in my right mind or not. Is this an illusion? Oh, please let this be an illusion.
Way too uptight and goody-goody. Makes you sound so distant, you dig?
Kanji does not talk like that.
Is that so?
See, that's what I'm talking about. You could have just said, oh, you think so?
You think so?
Ah, now you're getting it. Now I feel like I'm on your wavelength.
Thanks. Then again, relatability aside, I feel like you were miles away from me to begin with.
Hey, you're doing it again. What's with the Miss Manners act?
I'm sorry. It's a habit of mine.
Or maybe it's that you don't care about getting close to us, huh? You don't feel like you gotta bother getting to know us and stuff?
Of course I don't think. Hell no, man.
You never warm up to anyone because you set your standards so goddamn high.
Here we go.
Dear, he's shown his true self.
Is it, you know what? Are you putting on a show of not letting anyone near you because you got no confidence in yourself? Is that it?
Kanji-kun.
This may be false accusations, but some of these statements are hitting home. I can't brush off these words, and my heart aches.
You're so nervous. Your height? Your body? That girly voice? and let me give you a little lesson in manliness. I hope you're ready for that.
This is insanity.
Wait.
This is insanity.
I didn't say any.
Oh, here we go. Man, Naoto couldn't even get a fucking word in. Kinda just jumped straight to it.
Finally. Fight.
Ow. So far, he's the only one who ever bothered to block. Bang, 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 bang. Oh, that's interesting. I have an ammo meter. Am I regening? Why am I regening? There we go. Okay. That wasn't too bad. I'm getting more and more used to this game. Ooh. It's just like I have to learn a character so suddenly.
Kanji-kun, are you all right?
Of course I am. Your attacks are like little bug bites. I just let my guard down, that's all.
I don't know if he's acting tough or trying to be courteous to me, but at least he's back to the usual Kanji-kun. The usual Kanji-kun. Usual? Wait, didn't your senpai say that too? Or at the very least, it seems like the spell is broken once the battle ends. I let out a sigh of relief. Still, for some reason, Kanji-kun has yet to look this way.
Really okay? I was told that the others lost contact with you, so how did you come to be here?
How? Well, it was a change of pace?
You came into the TV for a change of pace? Did something happen? I'm willing to listen if you'd like to talk about it.
Something to talk about. I mean, wait, not that I don't talk to you. But like, it's not that I do want to talk.
Okay, buddy.
That I don't want to.
Calm down.
Anyways, there's just sometimes a man wants to go inside a TV by himself.
I'm not sure I follow.
Off my back, will you? I didn't come in here because I like it. Actually, no. That is why I came. Because I like this place.
You got this, buddy. It's okay. Kanji-kun turns around, his face is red. But with anger or something else?
I just don't understand why you're being so loud about it and blushing so fiercely.
I wasn't blushing. Besides, it was all your fault. You're the one that was, well, being all...
Me? What are you talking about?
You want me to come out and say it? Jeez. I thought you'd gone crazy because of that.
Me? Crazy? You were the...
Naoto? Why would I call you that?
Wait a second. Acting strangely.
There it is. The time to put the pieces together. I saw Kanji-kun as if he'd gone mad, and he saw me as the same. And yet, both of us claimed that we hadn't gone crazy. I get it now. That's why you-senpai called me the usual Naoto.
Of course. An illusion.
Huh?
I believe we were both under the illusion that the other had lost their mind. That's why neither of us remembers saying what the other heard.
Illusions, huh?
It must be a scheme to make friends fight each other. But if that's the case...
It's not as simple as the person I have to fight being crazy. You-senpai and Kanji-kun both said things that dig deep into my personal problems. If these are illusions, then whoever's creating them has to be someone who knows us.
The ability to interfere with other senses, the prior knowledge of us, putting it all together, it must be.
Must be what?
The Teddy acting as the tournament's host, as well as Rise-san, must be genuine.
You moron, there's no way it's them.
I look at Kanji in surprise.
That Ted and Rise are fakes. Come on. They're not twisted like that. You of all people ought to know.
He doesn't have any proof, but his unshakable trust in it sets me at ease. Even if I told him that Rise and Teddy are both missing, I'm sure that his answer wouldn't
Who
change.
else then?
Well, you know, there is someone here besides us. I saw her on my way here. Some girl with long hair.
A girl. Did she happen to be wearing a white fur shawl and combat gear beneath it?
Her? What are you talking about? She had on a normal Yasuo girl's uniform and
There it
her
is.
hair was like tied back.
A female student with tied back hair? I don't recall anyone like that.
Oh, I thought he might have run into Kirijo-san, but it doesn't appear to have been the case. Is that girl, Kanji-kun, talking about a suspect? I can't tell for sure.
I'll keep it in mind. Well, I should be moving on.
Hold on, I'll come with... Wait, the hell?
Ah, the invisible walls again. Just like last time, I cannot touch it myself.
The rules seem to dictate that only the victor can proceed. I'll come for you later.
Don't bother. I'll figure this out myself somehow. That aside, you beat me. You better make sure you're the champion in the end.
That's completely irrelevant to the larger objective.
Yeah, I think so far she's the least interested in this tournament. I leave Kanji-kun behind and push on ahead. We're being shown illusions that portray our opponents of having lost their senses. But why is the host of this tournament going to such elaborate lengths? Obviously, it's to get people who know each other to fight, but is that the only goal? Still, I wonder how I'd appear to Senpai and Kanji-kun. I'm not that worried about Senpai, but thinking about Kanji-kun's reaction, I blushed. It's burning a hole in my stomach. As I walk down the hall, I come to another likely location for a match. Isn't this literally right in front of the, right inside the school gates? Like, shouldn't you have passed this if you went in the school gates? Unless the invisible walls made you, take a weird roundabout way to get inside the school. Anyway, as I walk down the hall, I come to another likely location for a match. Just as I'd figured, Teddy appears on the screen.
Your next opponent is a special guest. We've got a lady jumping in on the fun. It'll be a big emotional reunion for you now, Chan.
Could it be?
Bring out the next opponent!
Is it Mitsuru?
Kirijo-san.
Shirogane, why are you here? I thought you were...
This is a problem. I didn't think we'd run into each other so soon.
The purpose of this event is to have the participants fight. Because there's only one path to take, I figured we'd run into each other sooner or later. I never imagined that it would be this early on, though. No, there's something else I need to be concerned with. Like previous times, the opponents will not be seeing each other correctly. With that in mind, I watch closely and expect to see a change in her. Mitsuru-san's face twists her expression of contempt as her composure shatters.
I'm surprised to see you here would be an understatement.
I don't reply. There's no point in saying anything after that.
The silent treatment. How ridiculous that you, who lives a lie, would dig up other people's hidden secrets for a living. You seem gentle, but you maintain an aloof distance that keeps people at arm's length. I've thought that since our first meeting.
Okay, now Naoto has to know.
At first, I thought it must be typical of a detective. But that doesn't seem to be the case. You simply lack confidence in yourself.
I have some trouble staying silent.
You hide your true nature, because you know that once you grow close to someone, you'll no longer be able to protect your pride. That's why you won't let anyone in. You use your job as a pretext to keep your distance and never get too attached.
Yeah, Naoto has to know now, this is not them. Because they have met once. Maybe twice. No, yeah, twice. Because they had the, briefing after the hijacking. And Mitsu's making some, real deep cuts.
And it's from that position that you're trying to discover what others are hiding? How contradictory. Not to mention completely ridiculous and unfair.
I clenched my fists in spite of myself.
Persona.
Oh, wow. That was cold. She was like, alright, let's get this over with. Kirijo-san's relentless words. Even if it's only illusion to begin, and even if it's only illusion, I begin to feel that if I lose, I will never be able to look her in the eye again. I cannot lose here.
I'd dearly like to answer your charges, but I see no need. There is no reason to defend myself against the accusations of an illusion.
Oh, that goes so fucking hard. Holy shit. That was the fucking best line in this game. fucking go.
Finally. Fight.
Come on, this should do it. Come on, there we go. Whew.
Okay.
Alright. I was a bit nervous there. Got a little nervous at the end. Hoo boy. Oh. Nope, save please, thank you. Okay.
You're stronger than you look. It seems you're a skilled fighter. And a persona user as well, huh?
With that, Kirito-san stands
I'd like
up.
to clear something up. Before our battle, I may have said or done some things that seemed disrespectful, but
I understand. We were shown illusions to goad us into fighting each other.
so you already knew. You are a credit to the Shirogane name then. In that case, I'm willing to forget all the things you said about my body.
Oh, God. Wait, what? What did the illusionary me say?
Though, if you're a persona user, that gives weight to two of my theories.
Kirito-san looks straight at me.
One is that you were one of those who solved last year's serial murders. The few proud anonymous heroes.
I shrug. And then, I brace myself for the other shoe to drop. I know what she's about to say.
The other is that you are one of my enemies. You were an observer at the hijacking, which means a persona user was sent specifically, yet you hid that from me. Somehow I doubt you were there just to watch over the cargo. If my suspicions aren't off base, then there's something I must say.
In all honesty, I feel like I have no defense for what's going to happen next. I begin to try to find a way to make it through this conversation without ruining whatever goodwill I may still have with her. But Kirito-san's next words take me completely by surprise.
Can I ask for your cooperation once again?
What?
You know more about this world than I do, and since I lost our match, I will be unable to move on from here.
Hoo-hoo boy.
Wait a moment. I thought you distrusted me.
Even if I did, is continuing to oppose each other the wisest course of action?
I have no words. Kirito-san smiles as she watches me. Her proposal completely surprised me. My surprise must have confirmed what she was thinking about me. She knew that I'm not the type of person who would become her enemy under normal circumstances. That is why she smiled. I'm no match for her. She is on a completely different level than I am. It's not a matter of social rank. She simply has that type of personality that makes people want to follow her. Kirito-san doesn't wait for me to answer and continues.
As you guessed, we are here in pursuit of the stolen cargo. Upon investigation, we figured out that it contained the 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, Labris. She was a machine, developed as one of a series of test models. They were intended to receive personas in order to combat shadows.
Isn't a persona the manifestation of one's strength of heart? How could a machine be capable of using a persona?
You're right to ask that. Labris has a mind of her own. We don't know what she looks like, but it's probably very close to human.
A humanoid machine. Did I see something like that fitting the description before I came through the TV world? So that was a weapon developed by the Kirijo group. A humanoid robot. One with a heart at that. That's the fruit of Kirijo technology, created from the research of the shadows. Ugh. I cannot help but be surprised. However, if the culprits were specifically after this Labris weapon, there's a high probability that it's been removed from its case and it's mobile. I can't fathom what that would how that would benefit the thieves. There is one thing I can deduce, though.
Around the time of the robbery, we began to see activity in this world as well. I doubt this is a coincidence. I feel sure that your Labris is connected to this ridiculous tournament.
I agree.
Before I know what I'm doing, I reach out to shake hands with Kirito-san.
I accept your earlier proposal, and I think I'd best hurry.
Thank you. And I'm sorry. Your friends must be facing their own troubles. It's possible that they've met Labris without knowing it, too.
They'll be all right, I'm sure.
The record showed that Labris had some unknown experimental equipment. We don't know what she's capable of. Don't take her lightly.
Oh
Oh
no,
boy.
that isn't what I meant. She has a heart, yes? Then fighting her isn't our only option. She can be saved. I'm sure the others will reach the same conclusion.
I see.
When I say that, I can see a smile on her face. I can tell she believes in her friends as well.
Oh, yes, I meant to ask. Have you been able to contact your friends?
I shake my head.
No. 2 of them have analysis-capable personas, but both of them have gone missing.
I actually have a few powers in that area myself. Can you tell me what these friends of yours look like?
I give her detailed descriptions of Rise-san and Teddy as I can.
A bear costume and a girl. Are they...
Yes. They're the ones acting as hosts for this tournament, but they're not usually like this.
I see. Well, anyway, knowing that will make searching for them easier. Let me see.
There's Artemisia. Rise-san focuses and closes her eyes. She doesn't have her motorcycle, unfortunately, so... her power must allow her to see an image as she searches. There may only be a few powers, but it's still quite amazing.
I'm getting a match some ways from here. It's not moving either.
Oh shit! Tartarus all of a sudden? Okay, hi. Hello, music that plays at the fucking first floor of Tartarus. Alright. It's not moving either.
I found her. Can you hear me?
Who is this?
That voice.
My name is Mitsuru Kirijo. I'm with one of your friends, Shirogane.
Kirijo-san looks at me and nods. She's communicating to me so that Rise-san can hear my voice as well.
Rise-san!
Naoto-kun, is it really you?
Yes, though I could ask the same of you, Rise-san.
I'm so glad. This weird fake Teddy kidnapped me and then everyone was fighting each other.
Okay, so now they know it's fake. So Rise-san's voice on the PA system was a fake. If that's the case, then there's no reason to believe that the image of Teddy on the monitors is a real thing either.
It's all right. Please calm down. Do you know where you are right now?
It looks like an announcement room, but there are these invisible walls stopping me from leaving. Plus, the fake Teddy is watching me, so I can't use my persona.
I don't know who that fake Teddy is, but it seems that Rise-san and the real Teddy were kidnapped to deprive us of means of communication. In other words, to keep us fooled while we were in this world. Then again, that explains nothing about whatever objective could be gained by doing this to us. How does Labris's existence tie into this?
Oh, right. Thanks. Kirijo-san, right? Wait, Kirijo? I know that name. That's not important now. Are you a persona user too?
Yes, but we can discuss that later. I sense a shadow-like presence very close to your position. Are you all right?
The only thing near here is the fake Teddy. Wait, is that what you're talking about?
So it's a shadow.
I was hesitant to make a decision. Kirijo does not know Teddy. Of course, she wouldn't know his origins. Even if the general was the real Teddy, she would probably think of him as a shadow if she didn't know better. But if the general is merely something else that's taking on his appearance, it leads to a completely different conclusion. That is, it's a shadow from a normal human who doesn't have any tolerance for this world. But if that's the case, then why is the shadow mimicking Teddy? I don't have enough pieces to begin slowly solving this puzzle yet. While I'm in the present process of thinking things through, Kirijo-san speaks up.
Shirogane, you need to hurry on. I'll try to maintain communication as best I can and keep you in the loop.
Oh shit, am I gonna get a navigator for this? Oh my
All
god.
right, then. I'm off. Stay safe.
I wonder if Mitsuru's gonna like be talking to me. That'd be so cool. To the announcement room where Rise-chan is being held. Rise-san? I gave it the wrong honorific. Whoops. Ooh, backside of the TV. As I hurry on, led by the invisible walls, I reach a classroom. I'll be forced into another fight here, no doubt.
Looks like you're chugging right along. And now another special guest for you.
All right, do we think it's gonna be Akihiko or Aigis?
The gloves may be off, putting you up against this one. So I want to see your best moves out there.
Or do we think it's not a member of the Shadow Ops at all? Or do we think it's an investigation team?
Now, bring out the next opponent.
That's gonna be Akihiko. It is. I got it. I'm so smart. I see a silhouette framed in the spotlight. It's, well, how could I forget that attire?
You're Akihiko Sanada, as I recall.
Interesting. I've been gone for a while, and here I meet a stranger who knows who I am.
You're a member of Mitsuru Kirijo's organization. Her friend, actually, no?
Oh, I see. So it's really Mitsuru you're interested in, ace detective.
His words caused me to tense up. He just called me Ace Detective. Perhaps that was just a guess from my family name, Shirogane, but he could know that I'm spying on them for the police. I carefully search his eyes for anything that might tell me how much he knows. He looks me over from head to toe, and immediately sneers
Jeez,
mockingly.
Look at you. You have the physique of a 12-year-old.
What?
A detective needs a strong body more than a strong brain. All-night research sessions, long stakeouts. You need stamina for that. But look at those twiggy arms and legs.
Oh my god.
You've
Yeah.
got an overdeveloped chest, but from the looks of it,
Jesus
I'd say it's all
Christ.
fat and no muscle.
Jesus Christ.
What?
What the fuck? Good God. Why are they making my boy say this? What is wrong with him? That's the part of my self-image. That's the part of my self-image I'm most sensitive
Let me
about.
teach you the secret to bodybuilding. First thing, protein. Second thing, protein. Third, fourth, and fifth, more protein.
Now that's the Akihiko I know. I fucking love this game.
Don't you think that's rather unbalanced?
Sanada-san flexes his muscles like a bodybuilder.
Finally, you gotta spar. 1, 2, ha!
Ooh, unavoidable battle. He said sparring, but that punch was meant to do serious damage. This is absurd. However, putting this unhinged talk aside, his skill as a fighter isn't something I should take lightly. Shoot, I can't dodge him at all.
Stop it, Akihiko.
Mitsuru?
Sanada-san stops suddenly with a familiar voice echoes through the
You're
room.
under the effects of an illusion. Shirogane has done nothing. Do not attack.
What do you mean? He's the one who attacked me all of a sudden.
I attacked.
Suddenly I remember. That's right, this is all an illusion. I've never met Sanada-san before. I don't know his usual self is supposed to be. On top of that, I allowed the first thing he said to get under my skin. How stupid of me. I let myself get swept up in the situation and failed to realize what was really happening.
From my perspective, it was you who dealt the first blow. We were both being shown an illusion to make us fight each other.
Shirogane is an excellent detective and a persona user. I told him everything.
Ooh.
He's agreed to cooperate with us.
I wonder if that navigational ability is gonna break the
He was
illusion.
originally on the scene as a police observer in this case, so we've already met.
Kirita-san and I explained to Sanada-san what's been happening up until now. It's a relief to learn that, despite the appearance, he's actually quite a reasonable man and quick to pick up on
That
things.
noise-like phenomenon that fogs your senses is already gone. You should be able to communicate normally now.
That's so interesting. We reintroduce ourselves in chickens.
Looks like I fell for a cheap trick.
I'm sorry for forgetting myself, too. I can't even claim to have been unaware of the deception.
So you're a persona user, huh? Well, since fate already brought us together, want to test your skills before you move on?
Sanada-san slams his fist together.
Akihiko, you're doing it again. Just cooperate with him.
All right. Come on, Naoto, let's go.
Oh, wait, the tournament rules say...
As Sanada-san walks away, clang! As I figured, he hit the wall.
Are you alright?
What's the matter? What happened?
I don't know. There's some kind of invisible wall here.
The rules dictate that only the winner of each match can advance. So,
He was flustered mere seconds ago, but now Sanada-san has taken on a more lively
so
expression.
we need to have a match, even though we've got nothing against each other.
Oh, that's
Fighting
interesting.
after all, then, huh? All right, then. Come at me.
please go easy on me.
I could almost hear Kirita's on the side in exasperation. Yeah! Alright, here we fucking go. I don't think have I fought Akihiko? I might have as Teddy. Yeah, I think I fought all the Shadow Rops in Teddy's run. Here we go.
Final. Fight.
Boom. Easy. Easy. I'm so fucking good at this game. Not really. I'm fighting fucking computers, so. I'm learning though. I'm getting better. He barely landed a hit on me, so.
That was a great bout. You're good.
Better than you.
What an annoying rule.
Yeah.
Wait a second. That reminds me. I saw that guy calling himself General walking with a girl. If only one person can move on, that's against the rules.
Fake Teddy and Rise-san were together all this time? Then could the girl he's talking about be Rise-san? No.
Do you remember the details of what this girl looked like?
Sana-san tells me about the girl he'd seen. What he said matches the description of the unknown girl Kanji-kun had talked about earlier. Which means that there's a high probability that the person seen with her was not with the general but the real Teddy. At the very least, this evidence against the argument that Teddy is the general. This creates another theory though. If the general is not really Teddy, then he is someone else's shadow. There's only one person that fits the bill. Well, not person per se,
if
but...
If that girl was Labris, then, well, is it possible we're dealing with her shadow?
That's right, Labris. If she has a heart capable of using a persona, then it stands to reason she could create a shadow. In light of how the events of last year played out, it makes perfect sense. She was kidnapped by someone who threw her into the TV world, creating a reflection of her heart.
None of the data I have shows any connection between Labris and Yasagami High. On top of which, I don't see how she'd know about you or your friends.
I'd been having doubts about that as well. But at least I have a feel for what's going on. What Labris' kidnappers hope to gain from this remains unknown, however. At any rate, it wouldn't be good if the shadow were to ruin its owner. Or run into its owner. Either way, it's best if I head to the announcement room. It's much more logical to restrain the false Teddy since I know his location than it would be to have searched for Labris somewhere in this world. Still, if that really is Teddy with Labris, why are they traveling together?
Jeez, what's that Teddy doing? I'm sorry I can't help much, Kirijo-san.
You'll have to forgive me for my meager skills as well. My persona's communication powers are more for operational assistance. A friend of mine from school was much stronger than myself in that respect, but...
Fuka Friday.
Oh no, it's all that stupid bear's fault anyway. He's a real genius for making people worry.
Man, it's strange running into so many Persona users I've never heard of all at once. I gotta say, brings back memories.
For us too. We were as surprised as you. Not to say that the possibility of other Persona users hadn't crossed our minds, but to actually meet them.
What you said about a friend from school kinda reminds me of us too. What was school like for you? I'd like to hear about it.
Well, ignoring Akihiko's current appearance, he was a boxing champion in his student days.
Hey, that dig was uncalled for.
After that, I don't know what went through his brain, but he started saying he wanted to search for stronger opponents.
He went on a journey to hone his skills? I thought that only happened in comics and old samurai films.
I thought I had to do it, so I did it. That's all.
This peaceful moment was shattered by Kirijo-san's voice.
Wait. What's this I'm sensing? It's like a shadow, but bigger.
Another shadow's presence? And it isn't the false Teddy?
Huh? What's going on? That fake Teddy left the announcement room.
Reset. Why did Portrait show up for like a second and leave? Okay. Rise-san made a report immediately after that. Sanada-san and I look at each other. It seems like the situation is changing. Sanada-san nods to me. After taking a small bow, I run off. With no one watching over me anymore, Rise-san was able to summon her persona. The job of providing support moved from Kirijo-san, who not all of us knew, to Rise-san. Rise-san contacted the rest of us and let us talk to each other for a moment.
Rise-chan? Oh, thank God you're safe!
Oh my God, everyone's here. Okay. Raptor's ultimate.
The others are here too. We'll rescue you in no time.
Wait, why is Naoto here?
I can't help but smile at this as I tell him the others I had seen so far. It seems we're all safe now. And now that we can communicate, we've greatly increased our awareness of the situation and our ability to share information. The general must have known that leaving Rise-chan alone would result in this. If he did know, but left her anyways, there must have been something major happening. Either that, or he no longer has any reason to hide. I hurry on to where we should I hurry on while we share what we know. The actual design of this place may differ from the real Yasogami and Yasogami High School, but the general layout appears to be the same. So if I climb the stairs to the corner, the announcement room should be right there. However, Rise-san calls out a warning before I can get there.
Bad news, Naoto-kun. The fake Teddy's back.
I'm too late.
Huh? What the? Is that the real Teddy? Hey, the real Teddy's here too. He's got some girl with him. I don't know her.
The fact that Rise's communication didn't get cut off once General Teddy's appearance is somewhat worrisome. Then again, General Teddy doesn't have the time to bother with watching Rise-san. After all, if the real Teddy and Lapras were both right there as well, he has more important things to concern with. This confirms that General Teddy is a fake. It's only natural then to assume that he is Lapras' shadow in disguise. But that makes things dangerous. Lapras and her shadow were confronting each other. Rise-san should know the dangers of the situation, but she doesn't know Lapras. She might not realize the relationship between the girl and the shadow. I have to warn her. But before I can speak, it happened.
Wait, what's with that girl?
Oh man, I'm not gonna be there when it happens. I'm not gonna be there when her shadow transforms. The static gets worse.
Rise-san!
Why can't I communicate with her when we're so close? Is there something that happened in the announcement room? So I run as fast as I can towards it. Oh. As I reach the door, I hear a loud scream from inside. Oh my god! Guns blazing. As I reach the door, I hear a loud scream from inside. I slam the door open without a second thought, prepared for a fight. Yet that came from an unexpected assailant. If anyone in that room, I wouldn't have thought it'd be... Oh, weird. Oh, man. Oh, man. The cliffhanger, you bastard. Okay, so that's the entire investigation team done with. That's really interesting. Naoto has my favorite storyline out of all of it. It answered a lot of questions and raised definitely the most. Definitely answered the question of what the hell are these weirdos doing here. So, I think how long? Just under 2 hours. I think I'm gonna do one more, but I am gonna be right back before I get started. So, enjoy the aria of the soul while I'm taking care of some things. I'll be right back. Well, I'm gonna cut it out for a moment, but while I'm in my mic, but yeah, whatever. Okay, hi, sorry. Oh, hi, Corticon. Hi. Oh, you're gonna end it? No? Okay, I'll keep your raid, suggestion in mind, but it's not quite over yet. I was just, I went to get some water and use the bathroom. I just finished, the game's being difficult. Hold on, come on. Open the game. Fucking work with me here, please. What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh my lord. Please. There we go. Okay. Oh boy. Okay. I am gonna keep playing. Okie macaroni. I just finished Naoto's, which wraps up the entire investigation team actually. But it ended a little bit faster than I was expecting, so I think I have time for one more. And I'll do Mitsuru's. Plan in order. So, what might happen, is I'll do Mitsuru's tonight, and then I'll end stream, and then next stream will probably be Akihiko's and Aigus's, if they're both similar length to like Naoto's and Kanji's. And then I have a feeling once I wrap up the rest of the Shadow Ops, these two will unlock. I wonder what these two will be. I bet one of them's gonna be Labras. But I'm not sure about that. But real quick, I do want to show y'all something, because I'm pretty sure I've been waiting to pull this out. I fucking I got good. I need to show you this. I got good.
Very well.
I'm gonna fight a duo match, because I think I got this. I think I got this at least. If I fuck it up, I fuck it up. But and yeah, I've been practicing this single thing, like basically every time before I've played it. Oh, I fucked it up. I got this. Ah, damn it. I got it though. Ah, you know what I mean though, right? You know what I'm getting at? It's Thunder God Dance. It's the fucking hardest shit I've ever done in any game, and I fucking got it. I've got it a couple times. I beat the challenge. I can actually show you that I did beat the challenge. I can prove it. It's just now that I'm under pressure, it's hard for me to do. But I can fucking prove to you.
Picture in your head your own
Right there, number 20, Thunder God Dance. I did all that. I fucking did it. Straight Looker, yes, PC version. I am on PC. I've done the Thunder God Dance. I'm on PC, but I'm using a PS4 controller that's hooked up into my thing. So yeah. I just did Lapras' story. I don't know if you were here for that. You're a first-time chatter, so I don't know how long you've been here. Is the server active? I don't know. I'm not really that interested in online stuff. I'm playing this for the story, weirdly enough, considering it's a fighting game. That combo's hard? Yes, it is. It took me like hours. It took me hours to nail, but I got it eventually, and I've been decently consistent with it. I've never gotten in an actual match though. It's fucking insanely hard. Anyway, Mitsuru. We're doing this shit now. Late November, in the year 2010, the darkness fell without warning. At the same time, the previously busy examination room fell so silent, the man's ears hurt.
Hey, what happened?
He called out towards the back of the room, but no answer came. Working for public safety for over a decade, he thought little could faze him anymore, but this was uncomfortably alien. It was no ordinary blackout. If it were, the faint light from machines running on battery power, such as cell phones, would remain. But the silence disturbed him even more. He hadn't heard so much as a single cry. He looked around. As he looked around, he saw in the spot of darkness something was giving an off and eerie glow, as if painted incandescent pigments. It's the fucking dark hour! Oh god! Once his eyes began to adjust to the darkness, he was able to see faintly make out the area around that light. The shining spot was revealed, a small, strangely decorated box. Once the man had only just delivered to the forensics unit.
Forensics team! What the hell is...
He called out. Still squinting at the shadow of a person he could see at the window before him. I met you in Naoto storyline. I don't know your name, but I know what you are. But as his shape resolved, he saw that it was not a person shadow at all. It's the fucking dark hour. Oh shit. It's back. Why is it back? Spoilers, but we got rid of that shit. He had no words to describe it. At first glance, it seemed to be a coffin. Indeed, that's what it's shaped like. But he had never seen a coffin standing upright, tall as an adult, shining like a dark crystal. And yet that was clearly what the crystalline mass was squatting in that spot where a shadow clerk normally stood. And upon closer examination, it wasn't the only one. At the desk, the front evidence shelf, and the reference computer, the objects everywhere, as if they had taken place of humans.
What are these?
Chill ran down the man's spine. They're people, was the thought that instinctively came to mind. Was this the reason he couldn't hear anyone else's voices? Was it because everyone but him was...
What's going on?
They got transmogrified! Oh boy. Once the fear had set in, it wasn't easy to shake off. His familiar office was starting to look like a grotesque netherworld. He felt quite sure that he had to get out. Quickly, he turned and grabbed the knob of the door, which he had just entered. But...
What the...
He locked in? It didn't budge. It wasn't that the door was locked, preventing the knob from turning the latch. The knob was completely frozen in place.
Is anyone here? Hey! Let me out!
Weird. Huh, that's weird. As far as I know, doors still work during the dark hour, unless this door is has some weird technological stuff going on with it. The man slammed his fist against the door, yelling in desperation. But the sensation he felt when his fist impacted the surface wasn't that of hitting a door. It felt completely at odds with what he saw, as if a picture of a door had been drawn into a solid wall. It was then that the man noticed another small light. Another light similar in color to that emanating from the box. It could be seen on part of his hand as he swung it forward. It was a ring, and suddenly he remembered. When he brought the small box, he found several bizarre ring-shaped objects with it. While handing it over to forensics, he suspected that they might be rings. To check the theory, he put one on. And now that ring was emitting the same eerie light as the box. Though he still had no idea what was going on, it immediately appeared that it was directly related to the current situation. Man grabbed the ring with slit-slicked fingers and tugged ready to pull off his own finger if necessary. Just at that moment...
take that off right now.
Mitsuru!
What?
The man can't help but gasp. He looked around. He could sense no one inside the room with him. Excuse me. Where had that voice come from?
I'll be there to rescue you shortly. Calm yourself and wait there.
When the man calmed himself, he realized that it wasn't just a voice. The sensation was indescribable. It was distinctly unlike hearing within one's ears.
Oh, pardon me. This is Mitsuru Kirijo. We met earlier.
Kirijo. He did know a Kirijo. It was she who brought the strange small box. And that wasn't all he knew. The Kirijos were a wicked family who used their fortune and influence as a shield, a constant frustration to the police. Despite that, oh Jesus, okay. Despite that, the man couldn't help but feel a relief wash over him. Perhaps he might survive this after all.
Well, I appreciate the help. Just hurry.
After getting all the muttered words out, he sank to the floor. He sank to the floor, the door at his back. Mitsuru Kirijo. If he recalled correctly, she was the eldest daughter of the Kirijo group's founding family. He noted that her voice had been far calmer than his, despite the situation they were both in. He sensed a measure of trustworthiness from her. And to think, it had merely been an hour ago that he was thinking of asking himself why such a young girl had been chosen as the head of Kirijo Group at all. Oh boy. Persona 3 music, oh boy. The digital clock on the corner of his desk quietly announced the arrival of 10 in the morning. Normally, most of the staff would be out and about by now, but the entire police department was in turmoil today. It was only to be expected, with a key figure from the Kirijo Group visiting on unusual business.
Kirijo, huh?
The Kirijo Group was a major trading firm, synonymous with Japan. They had links to all areas of business. Not a day would go by in the city without hearing their name. The clock that had struck 10 before the logo of the Kirijo Electronics and KJ was a carrier of the cell phone provided to every member of the force. The fuck did I just read? I feel like I'm going crazy. A few days ago, the same Kirijo Group had made a seemingly insane proposal. The document was hundreds of pages, but a brief summary would read, "We wish to collaborate with the police on an unofficial department for eliminating monsters."
Well, it does happen from time to time. Famous businessmen end up advocating cultish nonsense in pursuit of their ambitions.
Upon consideration, it was decided that the Kirijo Group should be invited to give their pitch. Of course, there was no intention of spreading tax money on the outlandish proposal. The police, interested in humoring the Kirijo Group, lay elsewhere. The Kirijo Group had offered an incentive whereby the police agreed to the meeting they would provide detailed list of ergonomic research lab artifacts as well as actual samples. It was this that drove the officials' decisions. For there had been dark rumors banded about the Kirijo Group over the last 10 years. While still a family-run business, some said that old man Koitsu Kirijo had delved into paranormal research and was performing inhumane experiments. The police collected enough evidence to test the rumor and had prepared many times to force an investigation. But every time the investigation came to nothing due to the group exerting hidden pressure, frustrating those working on the case to no end. The investigation's prime target was the famous Ergo Research, the Kirijo Ergonomics Research Lab. Exposing the Kirijo Group's dark side had been a dream of the public safeties for 10 years now. And now, Kirijo seemed willing to hand over the Ergo Research tightly guarded secrets on a silver platter. No one knew the reason for the sudden about-face, but neither did anyone think of turning them down. They agreed to the summit, not hearing out whatever proposal Kirijo was offering, but as a stepping stone towards unearthing their past crimes. Time passed, and the agreed-upon time in the afternoon came. Man was tasked with... Man was tasked with watching over and bringing in the artifacts from the Kirijo Group. Though he would not speak with the guest, the police plan afforded him a major responsibility, one that gave him something like a leading role. It wasn't long before the Kirijo car arrived in an underground on Port Cocher? I think I'm saying that right. Port Cocher. The staff there, ready to receive the guests, only shrugged at the long black limousine that would have turned heads on the main roads. One of the youngest recruits looked towards the man and asked a question.
Chief, what's with that car?
But that was the least of the surprises in store. When the Kirijo Group representative stepped out of the limousine, she was revealed to be a beautiful young woman, no older than a university student. Not only that, but she had attendants dressed in what could only be described as maid uniforms. All of them were young women roughly her age. This scene mesmerized various dignitaries present to greet her.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. I am Mitsuru Kirijo, representing the Kirijo Group. It's nice to meet you.
Her brisk greeting radiated poise. From there, she shook hands with the assembled dignitaries in a manner that showed she was no stranger to social gatherings.
She's the company rep? Really?
The young recruit, who was sneaking looks out of the corner of his eye, muttered in spite of himself.
The proposal said the rep who's coming today would be the leader of this new unit, but I thought it was supposed to be some hardcore armed response team, and she's leading it? Well, I guess it's better than some meathead.
Okay, buddy.
Shut up and hold your position.
But in truth, the man felt the same way. Certainly this monster extermination unit would never be incorporated, even if it would never be incorporated. But even if it were, he was surprised this wisp of a girl could ever do such work. Eventually, the dignitaries entered the agency along with Miss Carrillo. All of them wore lopsided smiles due to the young beauty's unexpected appearance, but that would do for now. The dignitaries were only there to receive her. Their true objective was loaded in the truck parked behind the limousine. The documents and artifact of the Ergo research.
All right, start bringing them in.
Roger, sir.
At the man's signal, his trained subordinates surrounded the Carrillo truck. They formed a line, smoothly passing boxes from man to man into the building. The articles were of various size, with even a few that came in oversized metallic containers for aerial transport. The Carrillo group had warned them not to handle these things carelessly until explanations were forthcoming. But in truth, the department was already prepared to begin a forensic investigation of the objects, and even send them to the lab.
You sure it's okay for us to open these?
This is a weird start to this.
Instructions said not to.
This is so fucking different, and I already thought Naoto's was insanely different from the others. Makes sense though. It's a completely different perspective from people from a completely different game. Anyway,
It won't be a real investigation if we let them hamstring our procedures. Besides, I can't think of anything they could send us that we couldn't handle.
I could think of a couple things.
Unless there's real monsters inside these things.
The articles were brought in silence. The operation only lasted about 15 minutes. The man himself received the last item, about the size of a jewelry box, and checked the truck to make sure nothing went overlooked before closing up. With that done, he turned and walked quickly towards a forensics room. So we're just getting preamble to him ending up inside the dark hour. Okay. Try though he might to maintain his composure, he couldn't contain the excitement he felt. For 10 years, the darkness of the Carrillo group had been a frustrating legend, like mist between the department's fingers. Their chance to investigate and expose them was here at last. Even the slightest evidence matched the DNA of those who had gone missing, or the victims of the unsolved cases. Victory would be theirs. The man tried to tamp down his exhilaration and took another look at the small box held. There was no upper lid on the box. A pedestal-like protrusion at its center held a number of small circular trinkets. Their usage was completely unknown. What kind of research produced these? Just as the man was about to hand the box to the window clerk, he saw a wedding ring on the clerk's fingers and came to a realization.
Huh. Are these rings?
We're not sure yet.
The man put some protective latex gloves on and tried one of them on. After looking at it from every angle, its color and shape seemed to be nothing out of the ordinary. Ah, fuck. If it was meant to be jewelry, it wasn't very attractive. The man couldn't picture scientists in lab coats slaving away in lab to create rings like this. The moment that unlikely possibility came to mind, the man felt somewhat embarrassed by his ignorance of fashion and accessories. But as soon as he reached for the small box to put the ring back inside, darkness suddenly fell.
Please step away from the door.
The voice echoing the man's mind and brought him back to reality. He took a few steps away from the door as directed and stood ready. Step away from the door. The more he thought about it, the stranger the order seemed. How did she know he was so close to the door when she wasn't even in the room? Suddenly a chill filled the area. Mere seconds, the entire door is coated in white.
Where'd this ice come from?
It had frosted over. The man couldn't believe his eyes. Oh, it's Artemisia. The man couldn't believe his eyes, but the evidence was there in front of him. You could hear the slight knocking sound, followed by a crack forming in the center. The door buckled under its own weight and crumbled with a sound like that. That was like building blocks being pushed over. Standing just past it was the Carrillo woman. She walked over to the man with an exquisite nonchalance. At her side, it was one of the maids she brought.
Are you all right?
Yeah.
We did give you fair warning, but it seems to have gone unheeded.
The man looked towards the ring shining on his finger.
And this happened because we touched that box? What is this thing?
That ring gives its bearer an unstable form of pseudo-potential and allows anyone to experience the Dark Hour.
The Dark Hour?
Ooh.
The box itself seems to be a failed recreation of the Dark Hour. The effect radius is small, and it malfunctions when improperly handled.
Oh, interesting. So the box itself is like projecting Dark Hour, which is fucking weird. The Dark Hour. You remember that phrase coming up in documents the Kirijo group had sent? If he recalled correctly, it was defined as a hidden time, unable to be experienced by normal people. A time where everything stood still. According to the documents, it seems to have occurred every night, at midnight, for about 10 years, until spring 2010, as if it was forcing its way into normal time. Before now, it seemed like pure fantasy. But could this silent darkness be the very same thing?
So you're saying those stories in that document, that occult-sounding stuff was actually for real?
For real? Sorry. The Persona 5 in me fucking reared its ugly head. At that moment, a voice suddenly echoed from beyond the hallway, past the broken door.
Who's there?
The man reflexively called out in alarm, realizing that the fear had not died down yet. What emerged from the darkness was the young recruit who had greeted the guest earlier and had been helping him bring in the artifacts. He was staggering, as if severely drunk.
Chief! Hey, are you alright?
The man started to rush to his side, but the Kirijo woman silently stopped him. She stood between the two, as if protecting the man.
He's my...
Before he could finish us, a surprising change overtook the recruit. Oh, he's turning into a shadow! Oh god! The recruit fell to the ground with an agonized scream. Black tar-like substance began flowing from his every orifice. The ooze spread unnaturally across the ground and cohered into a glob. It rose up like a beast raising his head, with what looked like claws began to form. Its appearance showed clear signs that it possessed some malevolent will. It's a shadow! The man thought again about the Kirijo group's initial proposal. We wish to collaborate with the police in an unofficial department for eliminating monsters. Without a doubt, this is what they were referring to. And the name that came up again and again was...
This is a shadow.
It sure is, buddy.
That it is. It's a monster that dwells in every person's heart. They usually can't manifest themselves this way, but it's quite common to see it happen during the Dark Hour.
So the research to make this happen artificially. That's what Kirijo has been experimenting with.
That did seem to be the extent of it. At the start.
At the start. The man couldn't prevent himself from shuddering, imagining the implications of her statement. With the second lower, the half-liquefied shadow was suddenly the form of some fell beast. But where the face should have been was nothing but a mask, giving the bizarre appearance of two creatures stitched together. The young woman, for her part, seemed not the least bit perturbed.
Kikuno, my things, please.
The man stooped to reach something. The woman wasn't sure the man wasn't sure where she had been carrying it, but she placed the sword in her master's hand. The blade was specially shaped, similar in design to a fencing saber.
Going to fight it?
Stay back. This will all be over soon.
She's gonna fucking demolish it, bro. At that moment, as if understanding her conversation, the shadow squared itself and leapt towards the young woman. Speed matched his beastly appearance. In the dark of the room, the man found it difficult simply keeping his eye on it. The young woman did not move. Her sword remained lowered in the face of the shadow's advance. Of course, he thought. An amateur like her could never react in time. However...
Artemisia!
There it is! With that word from the young woman, as some unseen force slammed the shadow against the wall, the man momentarily doubted his own eyes, for it hadn't been the woman who repelled the monster, but a silhouette that had suddenly appeared behind her. She is a stand user! It looked as though the being enveloped in sublime light looked as though the being... What the fuck am I reading? What the fuck? It looked as though the being enveloped in sublime light, contracting the shadow's dark glow, was a woman wearing a majestic dress. The silhouette held up its hands towards the grounded shadow. Once again, the man felt the air freezing the room. With that, the shadow stopped moving. Frost crystallized all over it, turning into an ice sculpture within seconds. Only then did the young woman swing the sword in her hand. With a white A white gleam arced through the air. Upon impact, the frozen enemy shattered like it had been crystallized as sugar rather than ice. The victory was so one-sided the man hesitated to call it a battle.
Are you all right?
The young woman turned towards the man. The sound of her boots hitting the floor gave him the jarring realization that she hadn't moved a single step during the fray. Seeing that he was at a loss for words, she gave him a gentle smile. It was all too much for the man. He actually felt relieved to be protected by this small woman. One thing was obvious. She had been through countless battles, much like the one he had just witnessed.
Your fallen employee's life is in no danger, but he'll be very weak. Make sure he gets to a hospital. Should I make the arrangements?
No, I should at least handle that. It is a public security matter.
With a nod, the young woman approached the small box and manipulated it in a way he couldn't quite catch. This eerie yellow-green light began to fade. Moments later, the silence and darkness faded too. The world had been restored. The man felt his body become lighter, causing him to breathe a sigh of relief. He hadn't realized until the pressure was gone that the air had been suffocating, as if he had been underwater. There was a stir of movement in the room. The forensics team and assistants looked at the man and young woman perplexed. The man took a quick look around. Fragments of the shattered door were strewn about. A young public security worker was lying unconscious nearby, and the Korean guest, who had entered without anyone noticing, held in her hand a drawn sword.
I'd be shocked too if I were them.
It occurred to him that if normal people could sense the dark hour, the sudden change of circumstance may have seemed to them like some magic trick.
Excuse me, but this place is off limits to all unauthorized personnel. Hey, what's going on here?
The forensic staff looked at the man helplessly.
It's all right. We had a little emergency.
Oh.
That aside, halt all examination of the relics they brought in. We'll wait for further instructions from the Kirijo group.
Huh? But you said...
If there are any boxes that are closed, don't force them open. Not if you don't want to come face to face with monsters.
Leaving the frowning forensics team behind him, the man quickly went into the hallway with the Kirijo woman.
I have to thank you for your help. And about the conference, I'll join in as well. It's been arranged so nothing you say would get through to the higher-ups.
If the young woman was surprised at what announced the confession of betrayal, she didn't show it.
Are you saying you will reconsider your plans?
I can't overlook anything as serious as this. I wouldn't be doing my job as public security if I did. But make no mistake, the things I saw today are proof of the sins the Kirijo group has committed. They can't be punished under the law, but now that they're known, atonement will be made in some shape or form.
Indeed. I never intended anything less.
You really put one over on us this time. Oh, there's no need to be coy. What happened today was no accident, was it? We'd never have believed the reports unless we saw it in person. That's why such a dangerous box had no lid. Am I wrong?
There was no lid. That's not possible. That box was classified as risk level 3. It should have been securely fastened.
The young woman fell silent, gasped and gave the maid walking silently beside her a look.
Kikuno.
The maid continued without a slightest sense of remorse and left her master behind. Both the man and the young woman sighed at once.
Us guys in public security have a reputation for being tough. But it seems like you guys are no slouches yourselves.
The summit that was meant to be the summit that was meant to be a perfect what the fuck? I can't read. A perfunctory what the fuck? Perfunctory refusal took an unexpected turn. Oh my god. Why was that one word so impossible for me to read? Oh my lord. Promises were made to continue the talks. 6 months passed. After many opportunities to show the actual samples to the dignitaries were set up, the proposed special unit was established in mostly the form Kirijo requested. The Security Department. Shadow Response Unit. It was inaugurated of the special unit that would, in time, be nicknamed the Shadow Operatives. There we go. So this storyline is advancing kind of strangely in that it isn't following well, so far it isn't following Mitsuru's thoughts. Normally, it's like the POV character themselves narrating themselves or narrating their own like story. Anyway, indeed, the Shadow Operatives. I'm quite fond of the name. Not that I normally pay much attention to these things, but in case, I admit to being pleased. It started as sarcasm on part of the higher-ranked personnel from the police. It could be taken as to mean those who deal with shadows, but the real meaning is those who operate in the shadows. Not only is the unit unofficial, we have difficult-to-credit job of exterminating monsters. Mostly, I suspect it was a dig at the group that disturbed the expected peaceful years before the older personnel's retirement. But Shadow Operative could also mean one who does unrewarded, albeit crucial work for society. It's a name truly befitting of this organization's goals. We're approaching the first anniversary of Shadow Operative's establishment. Though we're still at the level of basic investigation and laying groundwork, it seems a full-scale case has arisen.
Fighting is not our first option, but I'd be more reassured with you there. We have a general idea of where it was taken, the Inaba area, where there were reports of suspected shadow activity last year.
As good as it is to hear from an old reliable friend, I limit the call to a quick exchange of information.
I'll send you the precise location later. Sorry to call when you've just returned from a trip, but I'm relying on your assistance.
I close my cell and turn towards my colleagues. Now it's Mitsuru. Now it's Mitsuru's.
He's only just returned and he's going directly to the location from the airport.
And she was calling Akihiko.
Akihiko never changes.
The man I was on the phone with just now was Akihiko Sanada. He's one of our non-permanent staff. Akihiko is an excellent persona user, but beyond that, he's a skilled boxer. He is a friend of mine from high school who fought shadows alongside me. I admire his strict determination to never neglect his training, but the extreme length he goes to can be rather inconvenient. After entering college, he accepted my invitation to be one of the founding shadow operatives. But but it was his actions afterward that went above and beyond. Sure, I'll join, but if I'm gonna use my strength professionally, I have to get my skills to a level I'm happy with first. Thus began his training expedition. He's not only wandering the country, he's traveling the entire world. I can't decide whether to be dumbfounded or impressed by his dedicated to training. All of this to say that he only just returned to Japan to take part in this operation. I gave a wry smile and leaned back in my chair. Seeing me relaxed, the girl watching nearby smiles. This is Igus, known for her blonde hair and piercing blue eyes. She's a sweet girl on the outside, but she has what it takes to be an important member of our squad.
Will we be able to find Lapras? My sister.
When I look over at Igus, her eyes are cast downward with worried expression.
Will we be able to save her? Isn't that what you really want to ask?
She must have known once I called Akihiko in his backup. There's a possibility that we'll have to fight Lapras, knowing that it's not a great leap in imagination. Knowing that it's not a great leap to imagine, and in the worst case scenario, she may have to be destroyed. And alas, it's true. If all else fails and our safety is at risk, with no other way to stop her, that option is on the table. Still.
Don't worry. As I mentioned to Akihiko, fighting Lapras is not our priority. The reason I formed this Shadow Operative team is to save lives. We will find her, whatever it takes, and bring her back. We can do this.
Yes. I'm sorry to be so pessimistic.
Those feelings you have for Lapras, you should tell her when you see her.
I will.
Aw, that's nice. Anyway. Also, real quick, the map that's being projected on screen, that's just the straight up like menu, like for the look, like the map menu from Persona 4, like when you hit like L1 to go to the map of the area and like fast travel. That's the fast travel map. That's so cool. I fucking love this game, guys. The monitor is showing certain data under multiple redundant encryptions. Kirijo Group Economics Research Lab for confidential matters. There is, in fact, a reason I'm reviewing these materials that are normally securely concealed. Because 2 days ago, on May 1st, I was unexpectedly dragged into a serious incident. The passenger plane I was taking to Kagoshima was hijacked. There hasn't been a domestic hijacking for 10 years. The top brass of the police are afraid to make any mistakes, since in the shadow operatives, the case itself was resolved quickly and the culprits arrested. None of the passengers were harmed either. But the hijackers' true motive wasn't terrorism or political demands, as one would expect. I was surprised to find they were really after my cargo. It was a sealed box from the ergonomics research lab. We were transporting it to Yakushima on that flight. No one thought the risky hijacking could have been in pursuit of the cargo, and as a result, one of the objects was stolen. Arrested suspects are all in police custody, but none of them have any memory of carrying out the crime. Someone was pulling their strings, and it's probably using uncommon methods. Considering that the puppet master was targeting shadow-related cargo, I doubt they'll be easy to deal with. As for what was stolen, I guess mentioned its name a moment ago. The 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, Labris, is an older model from 2 generations ago. Since shadow-related ergo research documents were lost in an accident, we know little about Labris. She is an android, most likely a female version, just like Aegis. But instead of a weapons loadout, she seems to have been fitted with some kind of experimental equipment. That's all we know. Still, thanks to our collaborators' quick wit, the escaping vehicle was traced with the IN system. It wasn't easy, but we managed to pinpoint its location. Naoto mentioned, hell yeah. It was headed for the city of Inaba, where many have been. Hold on. It was headed for the city of Inaba, where there have been many. Where there may have been shadow activity last year. Oh my fucking god! I can't read. Once the preparations to depart are complete, I'll head there myself. My mind wanders a bit. Though I was unaware of them, the shadow of the sins committed in the Kirijo name is still so painful 10 years on that sometimes I want to avert my eyes. But now is not the time to be bound by the past. Now is the time to act. I suddenly noticed that Aegis has been staring at me worriedly. I give her a smile and stand up decisively. We're pulling up to Yasu Inaba, the central town of Inaba. Though it's a central town, the main street seems nearly deserted, and there's virtually no activity to be seen through the car windows. It was confirmed that the vehicle transporting Labris was abandoned here. So our first move would be to confirm the situation. Or so I thought. I attempt to ignore the rude stares of people trying to get a look inside of the car, focusing instead on the scent of my tea. People keep crowding around wherever we park. We've had to move it a number of times already. We didn't get a moment's peace until the car had reached the junkyard in the outskirts of town. So I try to keep from sighing. Aegis speaks up from her seat in front of me.
Mitsuru-san, our activities are supposed to be undercover, correct?
Yes.
For undercover missions, it will be necessary to keep all personnel and vehicles from being noticed.
Right.
Mitsuru-san, may I say something that I've been meaning to say for a while now?
No.
Understood.
Damn. Aegis' poker. It's funny interact. Aegis' poker face is a perfect blank. So I understand what she's getting at. I've actually wanted to say something along those lines to the people around me for a while. Still, it would be galling to hear it from someone else right now.
All I told them was to give us a car with enough space.
And they gave you a fucking limousine.
Our contact has arrived.
The man approaching us is someone whose cooperation I specifically requested. His name is Detective Kurosawa. Before I can welcome him, Aegis speaks up.
Oh my. This was not our designated meeting area, yet he has discovered us.
You want to know how I did it?
It's the song. Sorry, man. Persona 3. Do you want to know how I did it? Lately, it feels like whenever Aegis wants to voice her opinion to me, she intentionally puts on the robot act. They mentioned this at the lab, that if Aegis still speaks in that stiff, formal manner, either she is getting too human and is developing habits, or she's doing it on purpose. Honestly.
We appreciate your cooperation, Detective Kurosawa.
Long time no see, miss. And Aegis, was it?
Indeed. It has been a while.
Detective Kurosawa was an officer at a police box near the school we attended 3 years ago. He was shunned for cooperating with us and got busted back down to officer, but now the shadow operatives are officially recognized. He's in their good graces again. And a man who can be trusted beyond the confines of his station to solve the case, even going so far as to bend the rules. He's a rare breed. Detective Kurosawa's expression has softened while he makes small talk with Aegis, which makes me realize that this may be the first time he's seen Aegis in her combat uniform.
I shouldn't make you stand while we talk. Please, get in.
Ah, sorry. I haven't seen you in a while, so I had a lot to say.
He must understand that we're trying to be incognito. Though it's kind of him not to point out that our vehicle and attire are completely unsuited to the goal as he enters the limousine. He sits and does not even wait until the door is closed before getting to the point.
I found out quite a bit regarding the case you had me look into. First, I reviewed the report on the incidents from last year. One of the suspects mentioned the word persona.
So what went on here last year?
It's probably related, but I wasn't done there. Parts of this guy's testimony were even more outlandish. If you can take what's in the record at face value, it seems persona users can enter TVs within the Inaba region.
Enter TVs? What does that mean?
Just what it sounds like. You physically stick your body into the screen and go inside. He claimed there was another world in the TV, and dropping people inside it was the method behind last year's murders.
This all sounds rather absurd. I'm surprised it was included in the police report.
I got in touch with the detective in charge at the time and said the same thing. Apparently the report was filed by a young partner of his at the time. He'd entertained the wildest testimonies like this one.
Yep.
He sounds
that
like
Adachi.
quite the oddball.
You could say that.
If
You
this
could
was
certainly
what
say
really
that.
went on, the police would have had no chance cracking it. But that Detective Dojima is one shrewd guy. Even with all the supernatural hocus-pocus surrounding the case, he caught the culprit.
I asked him to collect information about the serial murders that occurred in Inaba last year. The shadow operatives aren't public knowledge, so I thought the local police would be more willing to speak with them, but the results surpassed my expectations. Though it's slightly frustrating to already run up against something I'm powerless to achieve myself.
That's all I have for you right now. I should be going. I doubt either of us has time to reminisce over the old days. It's funny, though. I thought the fighting was over, but you guys surprise me every time I see you.
Thank you very much, Officer Kurosawa. Why don't we at least see you off?
Oh, that's all right. I've got my own car. I doubt my department would appreciate your tastes. If I ever showed up for work in something like this, I'd be the talk of the force until the day I retired.
Detective Kurosawa jokes with us before exiting the limousine, waving casually back at us. I had nothing to say to that as I watched him leave, rotating his shoulders to work out some kinks. I guess, though, felt the need to comment.
Mitsuru-san, this could be bad. Our sense of social aptitude is in question.
Oh no.
Can't deny that.
What should we do now?
Yes. First, we'll need to test the claim that persona users can enter TVs.
We are in a junkyard after all, and I can see a number of consumer electronics that have been discarded illegally. Agus looks around and points to a certain pile as she gets out of the car.
There's a discarded TV over there. If the environment does not matter, we can use it to test the phenomenon.
Wait, Agus.
Don't worry. I'm just going to touch it.
That's not what I was worried about. Agus isn't wearing anything like a disguise, and... Oh, I'm overthinking this. We've already attracted enough attention. Even if we leave now, without doing anything, our picture could still end up on the internet. Let them gossip about the strange people in funny clothes. It becomes some urban legend. My mind's made up. I step outside wearing my special equipment. Once Agus sees that I followed her, she gives a small nod and stretches her hand out towards the screen.
Amazing!
Her hand. It's inside the TV screen. But the screen itself seems undamaged. Agus' hand is swelled up to her wrist, but if she put into a bucket of, as if she put it into a bucket of water.
Interesting. It's exactly as the police report said. What's it like inside? Do you feel anything?
Not particularly. No. Wait a moment. It's the same as mine. It's hard to say definitively since this is my first encounter with it, but I believe this reading is from a personality module.
Does that mean our retrieval target is inside the TV?
Huh. Sounds like fun.
There he is. That voice from above. Sounds very familiar, but all I can see in the direction where it came in was a man in an outlandish red cape. I hesitate for a moment. Could it be?
Is that Akihiko?
The man leaps down from the stacked tower in front of TVs like an
You
acrobat.
didn't show up at the rendezvous point, so I went looking and found you here. This whole TV thing is pretty interesting.
Yeah. In spite of myself, I bury my face in my
Akihiko,
palm.
what on earth are you wearing? Just what were you doing overseas?
Didn't I tell you that I was on a training expedition?
Don't tell me you came here from the airport like that. Does the concept of keeping a low profile mean nothing to you?
Mitsuru-san, I believe we have lost the right to complain about that.
Yeah, show up with a fucking limousine and a white fur coat. That's it. I'm never mentioning the subject of our appearance again.
Anyway, we can go inside from that TV, right? What are we waiting for?
Still the same Akihiko. We don't know the situation inside yet, and we'll need a secure means of getting out.
So what? If we want to get this Labrys back, someone has to go inside, right?
Well, that's...
Our target hijacked a plane to throw her into a TV in this town. If we sit on our hands, it's possible we'll be put in serious danger.
Akihiko's right. That's exactly why we've been trying to act as quickly as possible since this case began.
We're different from how we used to be. We made the choice to fight shadows as professionals. That's why I traveled around the world and trained harder than ever. And now that something's actually come up, you're hesitating? We agreed to do this. I'm ready to stake my life on the mission.
Alright. Recklessly unafraid to state his honest opinion. Recklessly unafraid to state his honest opinion. Classic Akihiko. He must understand, and that is his role. He must understand that as his role. Certainly, there are times when I need such opinions. And it's been a while since he went abroad. I think I can understand his current mindset.
All right. Wait right here. I need to go make a phone call first.
Okay, but make it quick.
Ooh, who's you gonna call? He doesn't have to tell me twice. I take out my phone and bring up the contacts list. A world inside a TV. I don't know what it might be like in there, but I do know someone that could help us. I was originally going to ask for their help after Labrys was here, but perhaps the time has come. Now, I've taken all possible precautions. The rest is a test of our resolve. Here we go. Inside the TV again.
The other members will wait here in the car.
Yeah. If we all barge in and something happens, they'll be devastated.
Now that you mention it, at least one of us should be staying behind as well.
I am not staying.
Us three will be plenty. We'll end this in a flash. No problem.
The same as always. Although, we have no idea what might be waiting for us on the other side. Don't get careless.
Right.
This situation, it brings back memories.
Here we fucking go.
Ready!
Boop. And then they go. Is Naoto still there? Yep. There she is.
Why enter the TV? What's going on?
Here we fucking go, ladies and gentlemen.
Where am I? Is this inside the TV?
I remember being involved in a white light, enveloped in a white light, but what came afterwards is unclear. Is this the world inside the TV? Oddly enough, the site before me seems to be the main gate of a school. Name engraved on the entrance plate is...
Yasugami High School. I do recall that name from our map of Inaba.
Yep.
An existing high school has been completely recreated inside the TV?
Then I came to a realization. I have encountered something much like this before. It doesn't appear to be much different from reality as far as appearances, but it has that distinctive sticky atmosphere. The Labyrinth of Tartarus, our battleground 3 years ago. It bears a lot of similarity to this place. Ooh, that's interesting. Oh, that's so interesting. Hold on. So... Oh... So... everything about this is collective unconscious. That's the whole thing with Persona. And Tartarus is a manifestation of that. That kind of like forced itself into the, or I guess was forced into the real world by the Kirijo group during the Dark Hour. Huh. Yeah. I guess like being in the realm of the unconscious does just put that pressure, that sort of like. That sort of air about you. That makes sense. Cool. I like that. I like that detail a lot. That she immediately recognizes, like, oh man, I feel like I'm in Tartarus again. That's cool. Being separated won't do anything to further our mission. Perhaps I can use my communication power to get in touch with them. TV?
I can't reach them through my persona either.
Oh.
This place is highly unusual.
I also noticed that none of the Persona 3 cast use evokers, which is interesting. It's barely functioning, but the noise here is severe. I'll need to understand this world a little better and find a quiet place to concentrate. As I check my surroundings again for enemies, I hear the sound of footsteps. I tense, getting myself ready. When I turn around, a uniformed girl stops, looking at me in bewilderment.
Huh?
Oh my god, it's Yukiko! Ah! I didn't expect to meet someone else here, let alone a seemingly ordinary schoolgirl. Could her age and outfit be a connection to the theft of Labrys? But once the girl's surprise faded, she seems confused by my appearance. Seems that even here in another dimension, people are still startled by my attire. At least her reaction allayed my suspicions. People reveal something of themselves when they are caught off guard. Anyone caught in the act of committing a crime wouldn't fake being perplexed so naturally.
Did I surprise you? I suppose my outfit is somewhat unusual.
Oh, no.
Why are you here?
Well,
A loud cheer suddenly swells, cutting off our conversation. Judging by the sound, I guess there's a crowd present here. I look around in the area in confusion.
What? Where is that coming from?
Okay, so... this is weird. So yeah, that kind of confirms then that, this sort of manifestation inside the TV world is pulling some time warping shenanigans, because the Midnight Channel thing hasn't even been shown to Mitsuru. And it got shown to Naoto after they all entered the TV, and he went in pretty much immediately, oh my god, I've misgendered Naoto, I'm so sorry. She went in immediately after the Shadow Operatives. And then the Midnight Channel got shown inside the TV and to everyone else. I don't know. I'm probably reading far too much into it, and I doubt that the game is gonna make any sort of attempt at explaining it. But in my mind, like the Midnight Channel being shown acts as like a sort of like anchor point to what's happening in the TV to what's happening outside of the TV. Like, I'm imagining those two things happen at the same time, and everything else inside the TV is kind of like loose. But Yukiko being here kind of messes with that idea. Students appear one after another, clearly intrigued to see us here.
What's going on?
Before I can react, an image appears on the monitor, buried beneath the bizarre decorations.
Hello! This is General Teddy, your benevolent dictator!
Hi, Ted.
I, Rosette, am your commentator. It's time for the next round in the P1 Grand Prix.
Oh, the next round.
Are
That's
you ready
interesting.
to fight?
P1 Grand Prix. Fight.
Oh, maybe she's in here after the Midnight Channel got shown and just didn't see it. Suddenly, the one in with ridiculous costumes cue smoke pours out. What? Suddenly, on top of it, Suddenly, on the one in the ridiculous costumes queue, smoke pours out around us. Okay. Flashbang. Spotlight shines us from somewhere directly upon me. Instinctively raise my arm to shield my eyes from the harsh light. Feels like I'm being displayed for an audience.
And who do we have for Yuki-chan's opponent this time? Ooh, it's a mysterious, beautiful lady.
Okay.
Unexpected.
What?
Teddy, what's wrong?
Do you know that bear?
The monitor showing costume General Teddy suddenly fuzzes over with static. The static gets worse and worse, till an eerily expressionless bear costume, one that looks as though it forgot how to make facial expressions, appears on screen. The voice is the same as before, but this tone is harsh and mechanical now.
Case 04, unintended intruder. Entering elimination process.
What?
What is that supposed to mean?
That's so weird.
What's going on?
Oh, that's so weird. Oh, this is so weird now. Oh, it's so different immediately. Oh, weird. As soon as the abnormality registers, I feel a bizarre noise, like something scratching against my whole body. Was that some kind of an attack? It didn't seem to have an effect on me, but the girl standing beside me underwent quite the change.
Who do you think you are, showing up alone like this? It's no use trying to talk your way out of it. There's nothing to discuss.
Oh,
you don't even
weird.
try to understand anyone anyway.
Oh, it's the illusion. She saw through the illusion because of Pentessa, not Pentessa Leia, that's her old one. Artemisia's like sort of navigational abilities. Oh, weird.
If you want to wall yourself off from everyone, I'll be happy to end your lonely life here.
But she still can't like quite see through this part. But she saw the activation of it at least. The girl's face is starts with hatred as she spits her words at me. It's a far cry from her earlier demeanor. It's as if she's a completely different person. And that's not all. Understandably, she seems to not know me. She seemed to not know me before now, but now she speaks as if she does. What is this? Could it be the effect of the noise I sensed?
Won't be so smug for long. Come, Konohana Sakuya.
Oh shit!
A persona?
The girl spreads the fan in her hand, and with a flash of light, the persona manifests. How careless of me. I should have accounted for the possibility as soon as I saw her in here in this
We
world.
won't be settling this peacefully, I see. In which case...
Ready my evoker and consecrate. Okay, there's the evoker.
Artemisia.
It just isn't, like, animated. And she shoots herself in the head with a gun. Power rises from within me, and the sensation of my limbs tell me that my persona has emerged. My hand holding the evoker is still at my side. Oh! Oh, weird. Okay, so they bring it up now. My persona, did it just appear without the use of my evoker to trigger it? Did it summon it only by thinking? Theoretically, one doesn't need an evoker to summon one's persona. I didn't have one the day my persona first manifest, and I've done one several other times as well, but never before have I summoned it so easily without any special concentration. It's as if my consciousness is reaching far beyond the boundaries of my body. By way of analogy, it feels like being able to control the wind with my fingertips. Could it be because of this world is special? The girl's voice brings me back to the situation at hand, which reminds me, the girl doesn't seem to use any special implements to summon either.
Persona user. Fine. I still won't lose.
Interesting.
But I won't be defeated.
So that brings it interesting. So maybe because the collective unconscious was being only projected onto like our reality, maybe that's why they had to use an evoker to sort of jumpstart their ability to summon their persona. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I'll place a bookmark. Thanks, game.
Finally.
I wonder how Mitsuru plays.
I'm coming for you. This is...
Oh. Just a kick. There we go. Alright, that wasn't bad. Seems to be just like a rush down, like get in their face, smack them a lot kind of character. I guess you could say that about a lot of these guys though. Once the battle ends, the monitor nearby switches on.
An irregularity has occurred. Multiple intruders detected. Emergency.
That's so
Intruders are persona
curious.
users. Due to difficulties in elimination, they will be acknowledged as valid targets.
He obviously refers to myself and the others. Does he mean that he's going to adjust his tactics for dealing with us due to how much of a threat we are? The way he said that seems like a bad
Valid
omen.
targets.
I understand that we are considered to be intruders, but what did he mean by that? It seems we're part of the tournament now, but what was the enemy's original plan? The monitor screen fuzzes again once more. It shows the costume person as he originally appeared.
Jeez,
there it is.
Let me know if you want to get in on the fun. But this is a unique situation, and you're one hot mama, so I'll make an exception.
There it is.
Just keep putting on a good show in your next bout too.
Who are you? Why don't you take off that strange costume and show your face?
Hey now, I don't think a lady walking around in a cat suit like yours can talk to me about my bear suit. Enough with the questions. Move on.
Again, yet another person hung up on my outfit. It's unlike me to let the enemy's words get under my skin. The monitor switches off with those cheeky words.
Is that costume thing the one who stole Labrys? If so, then what's the purpose of this bizarre tournament? Fine. I'll get a read on your location.
I quickly link my communicator and persona. Some personas are more suited to operational support than direct combat. In my case, though, that power is secondary. We normally have a persona user who specializes in that role, but with some specialized equipment, I can get by. I focus my consciousness and send it drifting through the surrounding area. An enemy must think he's keeping an eye on us, but he'll learn soon enough that he's not the only one with a bird's eye view of the situation. Before the layout of this place becomes clear, an unexpected change occurs around me. Oh, weird! It's something that happened in Naoto's POV. The moment I use my power, noise runs through the students that I had been spectating. And in an instant, they turn into something like silhouettes that barely have human shapes. It seems their true colors have been exposed, and they're not human.
What? Were they shadows? If they were, I don't sense any hostility from them. Were they just set dressing that thing in the costume prepared?
The cheering crowd would lead one to believe that there is a large number of people inside the TV, but that doesn't seem to be the case, which leaves it a mystery. It may be best to consider it a blessing.
In any case, it appears that apart from this girl here, none of those students were real.
The girl who had collapsed on the floor is coming around. I released my persona and rushed over to help her up. I wasn't fighting to my fullest, so she wouldn't be suffering from any real wounds. There are many mysteries surrounding this girl. She seems to be more than just an associate of the one in the bear costume. The moment the girl sees me, she jumps back like a startled animal. She's speechless, flustered, and her face a bright blushing red. There are tears in her eyes.
How come you knew about that?
About what?
That was private. I never even told anyone at the inn about that. I can't believe someone I've never even met before knew.
Well, I wonder what Mitra said. The girl covers her reddened face in shame. I try and think about what I said to her. Did they point out anything that would cause such a reaction? One detail jumps out at me, and the girl's manner of speech shifted before our battle. It wasn't just her personality that abruptly changed. Though we had just met her, she talked as if she knew me more than she should about my past.
Reminds me, that noise I sensed earlier is gone.
Yet the girl before me now no longer bears any senseless animosity from before.
Seems to have been some kind of interference from the enemy. Come to think of it, that bear was egging us on. The interference must have been to ensure two total strangers would fight. General Teddy, was it? He looked comical enough, but he certainly put an elaborate scheme in motion.
Wow, she figured it out fast.
How could Teddy...
She seems to have finally calmed down and continues muttering with a perplexed
You know
expression.
the one in costume, I take it?
Oh, I know him very well. He's usually not like this at all.
I take the girl's hand and again help her to her
I'm
feet.
Mitsuru Kirijo. I've come here in search of a unique object. Why don't we start over? If you don't mind, I'd like to hear a little about yourself.
Yes. Oh, my name's Yukiko Amagi. I'm sorry for losing my composure just now.
So, Amagi, why did you come to this world?
Where to start? So many strange things happened over the last year.
At first glance, she looks like an ordinary student, so why is she here inside the TV? Amagi briefly summarized her recent past to me in an even tone of voice. According to her, this world was prominent in a serial murder case of last year. She and her friends awakened their personas while investigating the case, and she eventually solved it. This world formed by people's thoughts. In the case's conclusion, it turned to original state. None of this contradicts what I learned from Detective Kurosawa.
A realm inside a TV, formed by people's thoughts. It sounds absurd, but that would explain the incongruity I sensed when I used my persona.
We thought the case had been solved, but lately there's been another strange program on the air. My friends and I couldn't ignore that, so we came back here.
Your friends? Are there others here besides yourself?
Yes, I was with 3 other people, but we got separated when we entered. The one in costume and the girl who called herself Rosette are friends of ours too, but they're acting so strangely.
So this is not the way they generally behave then?
I could tell from Amagi's reaction that normally she trusts those two implicitly. Considering what the enemy did to her earlier, could they be under its control as well? Either way, it sheds no light on the theft of Labris. How are they related? Or is this only a coincidence?
There's one more thing I'm curious about. Have you ever heard the name Labris?
Labris? No, I don't think I've ever heard of that before. What is it?
It's the thing I'm searching for. What makes it problematic is that I know nothing of its appearance. Honestly, I'm not sure it has anything to do with this disturbance, though I can't write it off completely as irrelevant.
Though it appears that there is no connection whatsoever, whoever went so far as to hijack a plane to steal Labris brought her all the way here. No matter how I look at it, it means something.
Anyway, thank you for your cooperation. I understand the situation better now. We should stay together going forward.
Whoa, think again, ladies!
General Teddy appears suddenly on the screen to interrupt our conversation.
Only the winner of each bout can go on. That's rule number 1 in the Grand Prix.
How exactly can that rule be enforced? As if to answer my unspoken question, Maga makes an odd gesture.
There's nothing here, but I can feel something. A wall, maybe? Wait, but Mitsuru-san could...
Magi looks at me expectantly. I take a tentative step and walk through the place where she claims there's a wall.
Like I said, you're stuck there until the tournament's over. Only winners get to go. Come on, miss. You won. So it's time to barrel forward to the next stage.
I must leave this girl alone in the strange world then. Though I'm uneasy about doing so, Magi seems to read my thoughts and smiles.
Thank you, but I'll be all right. I fought shadows for an entire year too. I can protect myself.
I see. In that case, I'll press on and do my best to rescue your friends.
If you see them, please tell them I'm all right and they shouldn't worry about me. You be careful too, Mitsuru-san.
Magi smiles at me resolutely. She's a very strong girl.
All right, I'll pass that along.
I nod in acknowledgement of her wishes and turn my back to walk away.
Not only do they tamper with our minds, they prevent us from leaving until the tournament is settled. It may not necessarily ruin friendships, but there's no way forward than to fight one another. What a loathsome trick. It seems the mastermind is intent on us fighting each other.
Huh. I grit my teeth in anger. Amagi's clear eyes remain in my heart. This operation, it's no longer just to retrieve Labris. Take a silent vow as I go. Everyone who has been dragged into this must be rescued. said that kind of weirdly. Wonder who my next opponent's gonna be.
Another dead end.
I step into the school and realize that these invisible walls are everywhere, blocking off routes that seem open to the naked eye. This is why the thief who stole Labrys gathering persona uses in this world. Why? Okay, I fucked that up so bad. Why is the thief who stole Labrys gathering persona uses in this world? No. Not having a clear idea of their motivation is compounding my anxiety. I guess the Akihiko may have been dragged into this Grand Prix as well. If so, we need to compare notes. If all goes well, we may figure out the location of the mastermind behind this that I failed to grasp earlier. After quickly confirming that there are no shadows nearby, I link my communicator with my persona. I focus my consciousness, send it drifting throughout the surrounding area.
So lonely.
What was that?
What was that? The presence is faint, and I can't tell where it is yet I can definitely hear a voice. It seems I can sense it because of my secondary support capabilities. When I focus harder, it doesn't seem like they're trying to communicate with me. It's more like the words and intense emotions behind them are seeping out of the room itself. Perhaps even from all around me. Oh, it's because it's Labrys's sort of manifestation in the TV world. It's her like unconscious thoughts being projected literally from the fucking walls of the place. That's weird. Eventually, the voice becomes clearer.
I'm scared. And alone. It hurts. Why? Why won't anyone listen?
Oh,
I don't
Labrys.
recognize
It's
the
very
voice.
clearly Labrys now.
Perhaps one of Amagi's friends.
I didn't ask to be born a machine. How come no one understands?
Oh, weird.
What's the difference between normal people's hearts and mine?
A machine? Is that Labrys?
Ooh, shit. I stand up to try calling her.
Labrys! Are you nearby? Answer me!
But there is no answer. It seems that this is not because of the voice. What the fuck? It seems that it's not because the voice's owner is nearby that I can hear her. It is subtly different from hearing voices with one's own ears. It's true. I focus my senses once again. I still can't tell exactly where it's coming from. Not yet having a thorough command of the layout here makes it harder to pinpoint. Eventually, the voice fades. Only silence
Going
remains.
by what she said, that had to have been Labrys. Sounds as if her heart has developed further than we thought.
Even I guess the latest model required a lot of time and experience to develop the heart she has. So why does Labrys, who's been sealed from her development up till now, have such an advanced heart?
I didn't ask to be born a machine. It pains me to hear that.
The anti-shadow suppressant weapons. Both Aegis and Labrys were created as insurance for dangerous shadow experimentations. What? As insurance for dangerous shadow experimentations. In case the subjects should go berserk. The only thing that can stand up against a shadow is a persona, and being able to control one is an absolute necessity when dealing with shadows. Thus, they were given hearts, and in order to induce their ability to use personas. But a weapon that has a heart contradicts itself. It was natural for Aegis to face that contradiction, and it caused her a serious anguish in the past.
We can't allow victims like her to be tormented by sins of the past, whether they're human or not.
Newly resolved, I press on. I continue through the school, still unable to contact Aegis or Akihiko. The invisible walls seem to be leading me on towards a gym. Compared to the one back at Gakugan High, this one is rather modest, but the chairs stacked to unusual heights and the monitors are everywhere give it an eerie air. Ah, the monitor is switching on again. This time, it's not showing General Teddy. How strange that it appears to be a commercial for a fighting event.
What in the...
A session of young men and women are introduced as participants. One of them I recognize as
They're wearing
Amagi.
the same uniforms as Amagi. I assume these are the friends she spoke of.
Oh, weird. It's showing the ad now. It's showing the Midnight Channel tour now? After she's already, like, inside. Whoa, what the fuck? All of them are introduced with horrible epithets, but the Amagi I met in person was a completely different, sophisticated girl. I suppose the enemy made up all the taglines. Just as Amagi's introduction ends, the video suddenly turns off and General Teddy's appears on the screen.
I had to completely rejigger the bracket to accommodate 3 new contestants. Sheesh.
3 new contestants. Myself, Akihiko, and Aigis?
On the other paw, a tournament's more exciting with more people in it. But getting back on track, allow me to introduce your next opponent.
While they enter, someone who had already been there turns around. His face. It was on the video a moment ago.
There's people besides us here?
It's my boy Yosuke! Hi.
Holy crap, she's smoking hot. The thing she's wearing doesn't hurt either.
You were in that video just now. What was it they called you? Captain Ressentiment?
How come you remember that stupid title and not my real name? Figures I need a knockout like this and she already knows about that. God, I wish I was dead.
Apparently, the episodes of the video hit a sore spot within the people featured. The nickname left more of an impression than his real name, so it just slipped out. The moment General Teddy appears again on the larger monitors, on one of the larger monitors inside the gym.
How do you like your opponent?
Why are you making us fight? What benefit do you derive from this nonsense?
So many questions. I just want you all to suffer. Isn't that exciting? Isn't that fun?
That's what this is about? No. If Labrys is involved, there's more to it, isn't there?
Enough jibba jabba. Hurry and start the fight. Look
Oh
at
boy.
your opponent. He's ready, see?
As a general smirks, a wave of discomfort washes over me. It's the same as the time with Amagi. Oh, so she's able to sense the like illusion starting, but she's not able to quite see through it. That's interesting. I glare at the monitor, thinking that more interference is at work. I hear an unexpectedly bitter words.
Teddy's right. I mean, you're the one who barged in here. Man, who'd come to such a dangerous place without hesitating? You really are an ice queen. I bet you don't have many friends, huh?
It's happening again. The moment that noise kicks in, not only does my opponent's personality change, they begin speaking things I shouldn't know about. It's exactly like what happened with Amagi.
You talk as if you know me.
Stop acting so calm and changing the subject. You seem like you don't know much about this world. So how do you plan to get out? Don't tell me you rushed in here with no escape plan. Oh man, seriously? You're nuts. People like you who obsess over responsibility and put all the burden on yourselves, you annoy the hell out of me.
It doesn't matter how others perceive me.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Isn't that because you don't trust anyone?
We clearly can't have a normal conversation with the enemy's interference, but even knowing that, I catch myself trying to argue the point. The heavy responsibility I suffer is mine alone. If I share it with someone, that means that suffering will also be shared. That's why I try to be self-sufficient. The more I care about someone, the less I'm willing to rely on them. But isn't that no better than not believing in them? I have been caught in that trap before. Maybe I still haven't truly escaped it. But how could he be guessing at my private distress? One that I've barely confided to others before.
And supposedly an unexpected intruder. What's going on?
What are you mumbling about? Well, let me ease your mind. I'll end everything for you. Let's do this, Jiraiya!
There he is.
Yosuke-senpai! Beat up that shady lady! Let the fight begin!
Thanks, Reise.
I can see there'll be no talking sense with him like this. There's nothing for it then. Artemisia!
Here we go. I actually didn't catch her subtitle last time, so I wonder. Imperious Queen of Execution. That's interesting.
Final.
Bop. Bop. There we go. Get wrecked, idiot. I feel like these fights are getting. I feel like these fights in this run are a bit tougher.
Aw, you're so useless, Yosuke-senpai. Unfortunately, the party crasher wins.
Girl, the PA system is rather casual with her insults. Soon after, General Teddy appears on the monitor.
You're so strong, miss. I can barely believe how gorgeous and powerful.
It seems they're not provoking us only to have us fight one another. And their method. Is it more like an illusion they're casting over us, rather than some sort of mind control?
Still trying to figure everything out? Switch your brain off and enjoy the Grand Prix already.
Sorry, but I'm not some savage who enjoys the suffering of others. And don't call me Miss. My name is Mitsuru Kirijo.
Kirijo?
You've toyed with us, and I don't.
Oh my god.
I'll make you pay for what you've done.
His
You
eyes.
better be prepared
His
for
eyes turned yellow. His eyes turned like the shadow yellow. Oh. The moment he hears my voice, the face in the bear costume distorts into a mask of hate.
You're the one who should be prepared. I'll never let you stop me.
The broadcast ends after he flings those words at
I
me.
mentioned my name on purpose. He reacted as strongly to the name Kirijo as I thought he would.
Still don't know anything for certain, but I'm increasingly sure that General Teddy is related to the circumstances surrounding
At
Labras.
first, I thought I'd stumbled into an irrelevant side incident, but evidently not. We were meant to come here.
Just then, the young man behind me slowly gets to his feet.
Ah, you're awake.
Seems now that the battle is settled, and the interference causing us both to seem odd vanished. Hanamura cringes away, frightened. Can't help but shrug.
My. Amagi reacted the same way. Were the things that the illusory me said that harsh?
Oh, you bet. Wait, what? Illusory? And did you just say Amagi? You meant Yukiko?
Yes, before I came here. I was forced to fight her, quite against my will.
I explained the situation to him. I also add that she shared some information with me in last year's case. That should help prove I did encounter Amagi. Just on the off chance I asked Hanamura about Lapras, he seems not even to know the name. Once we finish speaking, he stands up and places his hand on the air, as if touching something.
Only the winner can move on, huh? I'm the only one who can feel this invisible wall thing, so I guess it's true.
I'm glad you understand. I was worried you'd doubt me, since I'm a complete stranger.
Well, you didn't seem like someone who'd try and trick me. I mean, what's the point? I've lost now, so I can't go anywhere.
Indeed. You're very pragmatic.
Young man waves away my compliment.
After what I went through last year, I just got used to coming smack up against insane stuff in this world. And Yukiko, my friend you met, she believed in you. So I don't mind trusting you too.
I see.
I can't help find myself from smiling. Their bond seems to be real. I do somewhat envy the way they trust each other without a doubt. That could never have happened unless they had overcome the same trials together.
I'd like your opinion on something. What do you think is the objective of this tournament? That General Teddy said it was all in fun, but I doubt it's anything so simple.
I've been wondering the same thing, but I don't know. But you know, it might not just be Teddy behind it. I met this weird girl earlier.
A weird girl?
She was about my age, and she said she was the student council president. It was
Oh,
like
they
she
met
had
Lapras.
no
Yep.
idea that she was inside the TV world. That doesn't seem very likely, does it?
No, I doubt one could be unaware of such things. It's possible that she didn't come here of her own will.
This may be a school now, but it doesn't always look like this. When normal people who don't have personas come in here, the world changes to reflect what they're thinking of. It happened every time a victim was dumped into a TV last year. Maybe this time she's the victim. Even if she means well, she still could have a lot to do with the tournament.
Girl.
Judging from the last state of affairs, I'm beginning to think that the girl in question is Lapras. Since Hanamura doesn't know the details of my mission, it wouldn't occur to him that what I'm searching for is a humanoid weapon with a heart.
What did this girl look like? Did anything about her stand out?
Huh? No, not really. She wore the same uniform as the rest of us.
A uniform?
Considering how Amagi's looks, It's possible that Labrys's appearance is quite close to human, but what does it mean that she's completely able to pass as human? Even Igus has to wear clothes that cover her entire body in order for her to walk around town. Yet Labrys even wears the same uniform as them? Chalk it up to another unsolved mystery, I suppose. But after talking with Hanamura, it does feel like I'm starting to understand the bigger picture here.
Thank you. I'm getting a clearer picture of what's going on. I'm sorry, but I can't stay and chat. I should be leaving now.
Oh, wait a sec. Can I ask you a favor? Can you look after my other friends too? It sucks, but I can't get to them from here. That Teddy's really not a bad guy either. Sure, he eats my ice cream without asking and stuff, but he's not the type of guy who'd get off on watching people hurt each other. There's gotta be some other explanation.
Don't worry. I was already thinking along similar lines. What we saw was an illusion. It may be that they're faced with the same situation. I'll save everyone who's been dragged into this, including your friends, and this student council president.
Thanks. Just hurry before someone else dies in here.
Hanamura's expression, which had previously been bright, albeit desperate, darkens noticeably. From what I've heard, last year's Shadow incident revolved around serial murders. It may be that he lost someone as well. To fight so desperately, but lacked the power to make a difference, being forcibly parted from loved ones. I understand that pain all too well.
That must sound pretty lame, losing the fight and then making a lot of demands.
Not so. Your concern for your friends in a situation like this. C'est magnifique.
French.
What?
I sensed it when speaking to Amagi too, but you all seem to have very strong wills. I promise to do what I can to help.
The emotions he seems to view as a weakness are actually a strength. I'm sure that with a little more experience, he'll come to realize that soon too. He'll see how difficult it is to hold on to that at will and how valuable it is to have friends he can share it with. Since I'm the one who will be moving on, I'm responsible for the duties he entrusted to me. As if sensing my determination, Hanamura's expression turns serious and he nods. I really like this game. I'm having so much fun right now. After parting with Hanamura, I proceed once again throughout the school. The invisible walls continue to bar my path. Undoubtedly, the enemy is leading me exactly where he wants me.
Is there no end to this?
The rules of the P1 Grand Prix are powerfully enforced. I tried to see if I could destroy the walls, but it doesn't seem as though I can. Maybe if I used my strength. Maybe if I used all my strength. But if I do, I'll be locked into a fight if I happen to run into anyone. Either way, it didn't seem worth the trouble. I stray from the suggested route on purpose and open one of the classroom doors. Since no enemies, and it doesn't look that I'll run into my second opponent here either, I should be safe. Once again, I link my communicator with my persona. Unlike this time before, my senses cleanly and smoothly spread outward. I sense two familiar signals.
Akihiko and Igus. They both seem to be okay.
First, I have focused my sense to contact Igus, who's closer by.
Can you hear me, Igus?
Mitsuru-san, I am relieved to finally hear from you. Is Akihiko-san with you?
No, we were separated, but I've confirmed his safety. I'm sure he won't be defeated that easily.
Igus laughs upon hearing my words.
Let's exchange information while we can.
I give a simple outline of the current situation. I mentioned the students that were drawn here. My suspicion is that this Grand Prix mastermind is certainly related to Labrys, and what I've heard of a girl who I'm assuming to be Labrys.
I saw that girl a moment ago, though I lost sight of her when the invisible walls blocked my path.
I've been told she looks more human than you. Is that possible?
Not only that, she was almost indistinguishable from a normal person. I couldn't believe it either. Yet I definitely sensed a personality module. I don't believe there's any mistake that she is Labrys.
I see.
There's no doubt that General Teddy has a strong ties to Labrys in the Kirito group, but this girl, whom we believe to be Labrys, is apparently walking around unconstrained. If he can set up this many walls, it should be easy for him to capture her too.
Don't worry about meeting up for now. Under the present conditions, we'd only end up fighting amongst ourselves.
Understood.
I don't know how Labrys ties into this situation yet, but be careful.
static.
I lost her.
Akis' voice trails off as my connection to her dies out again. I wonder if the enemy noticed our conversation and took preventative measures. Though the voice I'm hearing now is definitely isn't General Teddy's.
Some other way. If there was, then...
Oh,
That's
Labrys.
the same voice from before.
Labrys, is that you?
It's happening again. The voice reaches me through my persona ability, but I have the strangest sensation about it. I get the impression that the voice is seeping out of this place itself.
Why are you laughing? What about this is funny?
Who is she addressing?
I don't want to fight him anymore.
That reminds me. Hanamura said that the environments here are formed by the thoughts of those who enter this world. Could these be Labrys' innermost
There it
thoughts?
is.
Is that why everything about this place radiates her feelings?
There it is. She put the pieces together. For a moment, I experienced not just the voice, but a powerful wave of emotions. It bombarded me through my persona senses. Strong sadness, confusion, despair. I can't help but fall to my knees, though nothing's assaulting me directly. How can I describe this weight? One possible explanation crosses my mind.
She's not addressing anyone. These are her memories.
Yep.
I see. So that's what's going on.
I think back to what General Teddy said. Making people suffer is fun. I dismiss it as a barbaric desire not worth thinking about it too deeply. But in truth, what kind of horrors would someone have to go through to emerge with such a stunted perspective?
I'm finally beginning to see the relationship between this tournament and Labrys.
In any case, I must proceed to learn anything. I redouble my resolve and begin walking again. The motor suddenly turns on, showing a smirking General Teddy.
What are you getting so sentimental for? The Grand Prix's not over yet.
Then you intend to continue this meaningless farce.
I'll decide what's meaningless or not. Bring out the next challenger!
I wonder who it is. As soon as the General shouts, smoke gushes out, obstructing my view. It seems he isn't willing to listen to reason at all, not that I expected otherwise. Who will I be forced to fight this time? Strain my eyes to see the smoke. It's Chie? Hey, look, it's...
You!
It's Naoto! Oh my god! Hi! Wasn't expecting you. I should have been, probably, considering how entwined their storylines are. I remember that face. Naoto Shirogane. He... Excuse me. I guess that is the kind of disguise she puts up. Who sent as a police observer when Labrys was being transported to Yakushima. It was thanks to his quick wit that we discovered the Labrys had been taken to Inaba. If our trip hadn't been disrupted by the hijacking, he probably would have been with us in Yakushima. Why is he here?
This is a problem. I didn't think we'd run into each other so soon.
Is this another illusion? No. I can see that it isn't.
Why are you here? I'll answer that question later. It would be best to say as little as possible for now.
With that, the young man lifts a finger to his lips and gestures to remain silent. Directly afterward, that staticky sensation runs through my body. It's then that I understand what he meant. Once again, the noise will prevent us from understanding each other properly. He's probably also noticed the effect at work. Nothing we say right now could be called conversing. If we both understand that, neither of us need to take what the other says personally. That's why he called for a temporary silence. It's an amazing assessment, given the brief time which we had to make it. Before long, as expected, the young man before me undergoes a complete attitude reversal.
Seriously, such impatience handling the grunt work yourself.
There
like
it is.
This.
It's so weird that they see it coming now.
Isn't micromanaging like this the style of an incompetent leader? One who can't see the bigger picture?
This isn't how he truly feels. I
The
say nothing.
silent treatment, huh? That's fine. I understand perfectly. You don't believe in people. Not a single one. You have friends and allies, but believing in them is a different thing. I suspect you'll never break down that wall. Shall I say it for you? You're actually scared to. The notion of growing attached to something and losing it scares you so much that you'll share nothing truly important to you.
Oh man.
Even if you want to believe in your friends, you can't.
That's
Ooh.
not true.
After words slip from my mouth, I realize that the argument is futile.
Of course it is. Why not simply admit it? In truth, you have your hands full just expiating your family's sins. You don't need the added burden of others placing their lives in your hands. Isn't that how you really feel?
No.
The young man smirks as if ridiculing my inability to stop myself from responding to his allegations. despite knowing the futility of doing so. Spark only helps me to regain my composure. The real Shiogone would never make that face. This is only an illusion.
There's no use continuing this. Not until I eliminate this irritating mirage.
Here we go. Kick.
You're slow. Do it. You're slow. Do it. No, Marin carry. Next year. I'm rooting for you. I'm a straight. Assault.
Ow.
You're slow. You're slow. You're slow.
That might do it. Nope.
Marin carry. You're slow.
There we go. Okay, so Naoto just regenerates passively. That's interesting. I noticed that while I was playing as her, but now I saw the little blue bar like slowly tick up. Huh, interesting. I turned towards the monitor on the assumption that General Teddy will appear to mock us, but for some reason this time he doesn't. I'm not sure why, but at least it allows us some time to calmly think things over. I look towards the young man once again.
Am I getting through to you now?
Yes. The same goes for me, I presume. It seems we were spellbound until the fight began, as we both suspected. They disrupted our communications to drive a wedge between us and make us fight, though it's a mystery to me as to where it draws such personal slights for the illusions before us.
I agree.
He seems to bear no animosity and is willing to discuss things, but to be honest, I'm not sure where we stand. Why is he here? I can think of several possible explanations, but if he secretly followed us in, his canniness may prove dangerous. He gives a sudden wry smile as if sensing my reluctance and trying to assuage
There's
it.
no need to be cagey. I don't intend to dodge whatever questions you have. You were probably wondering 3 things when you saw me here. First, how did I enter this world? Second, what am I doing in Inaba? And third, if I came here looking for you, what are my true intentions?
No wonder you've made a name for yourself as a detective. You're correct on all counts.
The first answer is easy. You know now that I can use a persona, allowing me access to the TV world. As for the second, there's no great mystery why I would come to Inaba. I live here.
You wouldn't happen to be acquainted with Amagi and Hanamura.
You've met my senpai?
Your friends. I gather that you're comrades who fought alongside each other during the serial murder case last year. I assume you entered the TV together for the same reason they did, and found yourself dragged into this mess as well.
Whatever doubts I may have had about them, it seems they're here because we dragged them into this. I'm not very comfortable with that.
So, I must apologize to you. No doubt you already know, but the object we seek has been brought to this world. It's most likely the cause of this disturbance. Whoever learned of this world's existence must have thought it would be useful in whatever they're scheming.
You apologizing to me?
Shirogane shrugged with a wry smile.
Are you so sure you can trust me? You have no guarantee that I'm telling the truth. And there's still the answer to your third question to consider. I haven't yet told you my true motives.
Fair enough. But if you're friends with Amagi and Hanamura, I feel I can trust you. Their bonds with their friends are real.
Perhaps I lied about that too.
But then why would you bring it up? No, you're no villain. That's what my intuition tells me.
You aren't at all the person I thought you'd be.
I'll take that as a compliment.
His smile suggests that it was meant as one. It makes him look his age, or even younger. I can't help but smile. He's not exactly the hardened detective I'd imagined him to be
Teddy
earlier.
who appeared on that monitor is not our friend. He's an imposter.
You have proof of this?
I found the real Teddy. Our enemy can fog both our eyes and ears. It's possible they can make themselves look like someone else.
I see.
But I still don't know why they chose to take on Teddy's appearance.
Upon hearing this, I sigh and
It
close
might
my eyes.
make you all suffer. If they led you to believe your friend betrayed you, it would make this all the more painful.
There's some truth to that, but it seems too simple a motive to warrant this elaborate of a disturbance.
He's wrong. If the motive is somehow connect Labrys' memories, what had to be incomprehensible becomes completely understandable. My conclusion must have shown through my face, since Shirogane trails off in his understanding. At that moment came something like a touch, a sensation that I haven't felt since entering this world, but I know this feeling. It's the effect of being brushed by a persona's informational support powers.
This feeling. Rise-san! Rise-san, can you hear me?
Naoto-kun? So you ended up here too!
The voice echoes as much like the voice I heard at the PA system, but it seems quite different. The announcements must have been part of the culprit's tricks. This Rise's voice immediately turns quavery.
I'm so glad. Ever since this weird fake Teddy kidnapped me, I've been all alone. The others are fighting each other too.
It's all right. Just calm down and tell me where you are.
I think it's the announcement room. It's kind of off though. There are these invisible walls around and I can't get out. The fake Teddy was watching me until a moment ago, so I couldn't use my persona.
She seems to have been under the General's close watch, limiting her chances to use her persona until now. As soon as the General stepped out for a moment, she seized the opportunity to contact Shirogane.
You're in the announcement room now, yes? I'm headed straight there, so stay put.
Huh? Who's that? Why can I hear your voice but not sense you?
She sounds extremely confused. I had temporarily forgotten that my equipment prevents me from being detected by persona abilities to an extent. I prepared it after facing an enemy with similar powers once before. It works by making my presence difficult to detect unless they know me well and recognize my signature. Shirogane senses her confusion as well as introduces me to her. His introduction is accurate, yet concise. I can see he is a first-rate detective.
Mitsuru Kirijo. Wait, Kirijo? Are you that Kirijo?
Yes, that's correct.
The CEO?
Not quite. I am the founding family's...
You hired me for a commercial before. Oh, good. Thank you very much for your patronage.
Alright.
Commercial?
Oh, yes. I'm Rise Kuchikawa. I'm a classmate of the others you met, but I'm also kind of a starlet, and, it's hard to explain.
Rise-san, that can wait. There's no knowing when our adversary will return.
Oh, all right.
Kujikawa said that she was captured, but why would they treat her differently?
I suspect it was to block communication. If we could speak freely as we just did, their whole scheme would collapse. Ah, so that's why Teddy and Rise-san were the hosts.
What do you mean?
The real Teddy has a similar power. That's why those two were taken separately. Not only that, but by acting as the two who had disappeared, the enemy thought it could portray them as traitors. Though it appears that Teddy managed to escape on his own somehow.
How come I'm the only one fake Teddy is watching over personally? Sheesh.
Because Himiko was a much better navigator than Teddy ever was.
You have the most powerful investigative persona. They must have had to take greater pains with you.
Yep.
I think we're keeping this going too long. We've exchanged what we know already, so I'm gonna shut down the comms link. Be careful, you guys.
I face Shirogane once again.
We are responsible for this case. Rescuing the ones who've been dragged into it is part of our mission. Besides, she's another of your friends, isn't she? All the more reason for me to go save her.
He makes small gestures of searching for the right words. After taking some time to make his mind, he looks me in the eye once more.
You're quite prepared for this. It would be unfair of me not to tell you everything. Please hear me out. The reason I came here was to...
You're a real straight arrow.
I cut him off intentionally.
You're very proud to be a detective, no? I can see it in your eyes. You would never sell out your beloved justice. If you've done nothing to be ashamed of, that makes us even. I haven't been entirely forthright with you either.
Kirijo-san. It seems I still have much to learn.
Despite what I said, I can take an educated guess as to his motives. He's a persona user. That means the police selected their observer as someone with the potential. If his only task was to watch over the transfer, there'd be no need to send a persona user, lending me to believe he's been asked to secretly spy on me or on my organization. But we have nothing to hide anymore. There are many things that should be made public, but I'm sure Earth's judgment is sound.
Well then, I will once again entrust my friend's safety and the resolution of this case to you. In honor of the bond we are forming, Mitsuru Kirijo.
I promise that I will not let you down.
I smile back at him and move on without looking back. I know that there's someone up ahead to whom I owe recompense. There's no hesitation in my steps. Oh damn. Here we go. I reach the 3rd floor. After turning a corner and going on for a while, it finally comes to a view. The announcement room. This is where Kuchikawa is supposed to be. Oh.
Are you Kirijo-san? Kirijo?
So you open the door. 2 students greet me. One of them is the voice I heard through my persona, Kujikawa, I presume. The other is a girl I didn't see in the video.
Hang tight, Miss President. We'll be okay now that help's arrived. Kirijo-san, this girl got dragged into this mess too. We have to help her before that general comes back.
So you're Kujikawa. Sorry, but I'll need you to step back.
Huh?
I turn to face Miss
We
President.
made it last. Astounding. You really do look human, but you're not, are you, Labris?
The girl jumps at hearing this. Kujikawa still looks unsure, but I can't drag her into this. I place myself between her and Labris.
Huh? What do you mean she's not human? Isn't she a victim who got dropped inside the TV?
Labris being a victim is one way to see it, but if what I've learned thus far is accurate, then the one who set up the Grand Prix is most likely...
Labris, our records show that you were loaded with special equipment, undoubtedly a function that affects thoughts and scrambles recognition. That's why we saw and heard illusions whenever we fought. It would also explain General Teddy's appearance, and those who met you believing you to be human.
Special equipment? Labris? What are you talking about?
Labris' protests of ignorance sound as if she's in denial about something she already knows. It's tragic hearing the desperation in her voice.
I'm sure the reason why you captured 2 people with analytical personas wasn't just to keep them from interfering with your designs. I came to a realization when I noticed I was the only one who sensed that noise. An analytical persona's searches clash with your ability. They dispel illusions, so you needed to confine them. You feared that if they caught you off guard and used their persona's ability, this would happen.
With that, I summon my persona Artemisia. Just as expected, the noise immediately runs across Labris' body. Ooh, the exact sensation I felt before reaching this room in the tournament. Artemisia cancels out the force scrambling our senses and the illusion begins to wear off. Little by little, the facade fades away, and her true form emerges.
No! What's going on?
There she
This
is.
can't be.
There's the
What was
girl
your
I know.
motive, Labris? Was it revenge in the end? I can understand why you'd hold a grudge. I caught glimpses of it on my way here. But your hatred should be centered on the Kirijo group. Why drag innocent students into your vendetta?
Kirijo? Group? No. I don't want to remember. Never again. Miss President, Kirijo-san. She seems to be in a lot of pain. I don't know exactly what's going on here, but you can't push her any
Ooh,
further.
this is intense. At that moment, Labris grabs the equipment on her back that I had mistaken for wings. Suddenly, it separates and transforms into a giant battle axe that's larger than she is.
President?
Get back!
Oh, what? Labris approaches with one final step at a time, axe at the ready. Approaches one step at a time with her axe at the ready. Her step seems uncertain. She's moving with the battle clearly in mind.
The injunction against harming humans has been removed? I see. No wonder she was sealed away.
Behind me, I hear Kujikawa pleading.
Is there no other choice but to fight?
I won't let you do any more damage, Labris. It's me you want.
Ooh.
Shut up! Shut up! I didn't like that!
Where's her shadow this time? Oh my god, am I about to fight fucking Labris herself? Holy shit. What? Oh, this is new. Oh my fucking god.
Finally.
Oh, she looks so fucking cool. There we go. There we go. Oh my god, that made me nervous for a bit. Oh boy. Oh man, I actually fought Labras. That's fucking insane. Okay. Labras remains still. I can hear her mutter denials. She didn't use a persona, but it's still possible that her mental instability prevented her from doing so. It might have been a blessing in disguise.
I don't intend to turn a blind eye to the sins committed against you. That is why I must bring you back.
Labras is the mastermind. Not only that, not only of this tournament, but maybe the entire incident. What if Labras wasn't stolen, but instead escaped? Considering her powers, it is possible that he deluded the ordinary human hijackers. What? What? Anyway, I'd read that horribly wrong. Hello again. Hi. There's no knowing when Labras regained consciousness inside of her cage. But what if she hadn't awakened on opening it? What if she was already conscious inside there? She had been sealed for roughly 13 years. More than enough time to formulate a plan.
If that was indeed the case, it'd make more sense for this to be a plan devised by Labras, rather than an unknown party suddenly stealing her away.
That's interesting.
I can't imagine how much resentment such a small, artificial body could hold. A tragic mastermind, huh?
Huh? Mastermind? You got it wrong, Kirijo-san! That girl's not...
Kurikawa calls out from behind me, but just as she does, I feel an imminent threat rushing towards my back. I turn around in surprise. It can't be.
Looks like you've saved me some time
there it
while
is.
I was out running errands.
You're...
General Teddy gives an evil smirk. Extremely powerful version of the noise, far worse than before, is everywhere around us. Kuchikawa squats down while covering both her ears. That's all I can do to keep from falling down to my knees.
What's going on? This is Labras' interference pattern.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
There it is.
Thanks for cornering the real one. I'll show you something.
Oh, we're about to get the current transformation. About to see your shadow. Oh man. Oh man. Here we go again. There she is. To be continued? Nope. I thought I would just end there. The noise lifts once the mimicry is dispelled. But what it reveals is something I hadn't expected.
Another Labras?
Now it's to be continued. There it is. Okay. Whoa. What? Oh, I hadn't expected that. Oh, I thought I had to do all. I had a feeling we'd get her story eventually, but I thought I had to do all of them. Okay. Well, that ends things here for now. I've been streaming for almost 4 hours, and I'm extremely tired. So, tomorrow, I'll pick back things where I left off. What the fuck did I just say? I'll pick things back up where I left them off. With Akihiko's, and if it's short enough, probably Aigus's too. But, what the fuck? What the fuck? Oh, man. And there's still one left. I have a feeling I'll have to beat hers to unlock this one. But anyway. Corticon, if you have a raid suggestion. Lamash? I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I'll keep that in mind. I'm gonna do my outro real quick, and then I'll do Hell No Things on the Twitch side, alright? Okay. So, thank you all so much for being here. If you're watching this as a VOD later, thank you for watching. See if you can catch me live next time, 7 o'clock p.m. CST, Monday through Friday, on twitch.tv/justjackson05 or YouTube at justjackson05. Like in the search bar, like the ampersand at justjackson05. Let's see. Tomorrow again, I'll pick back up Persona 4 Arena Ultimax with Akihiko's story, Akihiko's episode, I guess. Or I wouldn't calling it episode since I'm inside the episode right now. This whole entire thing is an episode. But anyway, I will hold on. Ideally, you have to do the first. I have to do first the Aigis or Akihiko. By the way, yeah, I'm gonna do Akihiko's and then Aigis's, and then then I'll get onto Labras's. I'll do that. Essentially, I'm playing in the order they were unlocked. Anyway, tomorrow. That's all tomorrow. Well, not probably all. Labras's will probably have to wait. But definitely Akihiko's and maybe Aigis's, depending on how long each of them take. And yeah, that's it. On Twitch, stay around because we're gonna raid someone. But on YouTube, thank you again for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Goodbye, sayonara.